You are escorting an elderly woman named Andelka Androma along what is known as the 10 Trail caravan route. She's bound for her son's funeral in Mead, which is a remote, winter-bound community in the frigid lands of Icewind Dale. And actually, I've given you a handout. If you go to the icons on the right and click the one that looks like a book, 5 or 6 icons down, there should be a folder in there that says handouts. And in there you should see map of Icewind Dale and also map of the Frozen Far. And if you click on them, it'll open them up, and then you can like click on the images to expand them. And so, yes, you're escorting this woman, Andelka Androma, to Mead in the north. She's on the last leg of a long journey. She would have spoken to you a fair bit since hiring you. She hired you in the city of Luskan. She traveled to Luskan from Waterdeep, where she serves as a priest of the god Lathander, the god of dawn and renewal, at a temple called the Spires of the Morning. So she traveled from Waterdeep to Luskan, but then she decided to hire some protection to continue on from there, because the 10 Trail is quite dangerous, and travelers are often set upon by bandits or other monsters like orcs and yetis and crag cats. And so you've escorted her along this caravan trail from Luskan, and you stop by the dwarven town of Hundlestone. And you stay the night there, and the dwarves in Hundlestone warn you that a huge avalanche has blocked the trail to the north. And Andelka hasn't been in this region for many years. She traveled south when she was young, but she grew up here and spent much of her young life here. And so she knows it quite well, and she realizes that the only way to reach Mead in time for the funeral is to leave the path and try to cut across the countryside and pass through the town of Dougan's Hole. She's aware that leaving the path is a little bit risky, but she's determined to make the funeral on time, and she's traveled with you some way. She has faith in your abilities to protect her. So you leave the path and head for Dougan's Hole. The countryside is treacherous and thick with snow, and recent storms have left the whole area in a state of chaos. There's rubble everywhere and debris and fallen trees. And if anyone's familiar with the Rime of the Frost Maiden, this whole area was blanketed in darkness. But this particular story is set a little bit of time after that darkness has been lifted. So it's currently late afternoon, and it's still pretty dark. It's overcast. There's a light snow. There's an icy breeze blowing from the east. But otherwise, it's quiet. And so Andelka is sitting in a dog sled, and you're sort of trudging through the snow beside this dog sled. And let's do a round of character introductions. I'll go through the characters in alphabetical order. If you would each like to describe your character, maybe say something about what they might be thinking while walking through the snow, or what they might be talking about. And also, if you want to say how they came to be working for Andelka in the first place. So, going in alphabetical order, we'll start with Glarosh, the Glutton.
Yeah, so you see kind of probably in the middle, kind of bumbling a bit, you see a large, portly white dragonborn, almost as wide as he is tall. He's got several horns, a long white beard, kind of encrusted with a bit of snow and ice. It kind of, he would kind of blend into the snow a bit if he was to kind of fall flat. He'd look like a kind of mound of snow. He's got a nice silvery chainmail on him and white furs. He carries a large silver halberd with him. And you kind of see him trudging along a little, bumbling, kind of carrying a large, like leg of ham, like fully biting. And you notice that's definitely some of the rations that were supposed to be used for this escort that he's obviously gone past everybody else and has indulged in himself.
What, you mean you're eating Andelka's rations?
Well, they were supposed to be part of the rations, of course.
Right.
You might know if you're in the mercenary or adventuring business here in Icewind Dale that he kind of has a bad reputation, which has given him the moniker of the Glutton. He kind of has had a bad habit of acting lazy and eating the resources and drinking beer and meats and stuff on his jobs, which has kind of made him earned him a bit of a notoriety, but he's also known to be quite a fearsome individual when actually pushed to it. But otherwise, he acts quite jolly, and he's just glad that Andelka's given him a chance here, even though his nature to be, he's a bit distasteful sometimes, can, put him off from a lot of employers. So I think probably Andelka catches him eating this ham leg. He's like, well, I'm sorry, Andelka, I couldn't help it. I'll put it back in the bag, hang on. And he goes, obviously already half eaten, he goes and puts it back. So, look, thank you for this job. It's been a while and my funds have been running low. I'll cover you for the ham after it's over, okay? Trust me.
She's like, that's okay, dear. She kind of gives you a half smile. She's traveled with you some way. She knows what you're like. You get the impression she's a pretty kindly, friendly person. Often you feel also that she would be quite talkative, but she's obviously a little bit subdued because she's sort of on her way to her son's funeral. But yeah, she doesn't seem too offended. She gives you like a half smile.
Look, you have a great band here. A lot of these folks, they're some great warriors, I believe. Some I know more than others, but I'm sure, yeah. Anyway.
She nods.
And he pulls out a bit of beer from somewhere and starts drinking that instead.
Anything to keep you warm. Ivanna.
Ivanna, you see she has, her hair's not naturally blonde, it's bleached. Her clothes, there's like a bleach to them as well. She uses a lot of pungent material to clean with. She has an odor, but lucky it's not too bad in the snow. She's very formidable. She'll have, her chainmail armor on, a shield and a long sword. She's a high elf, and she's got an emblem for of the left-hander, and that's why she's with the the priestess because she's helping her along. She'll know her quite well.
Nice. Okay. So she's like a friend to the temple, or is she?
The temple, yeah.
She's like a cleric, so.
Yeah.
And has she been to Waterdeep, to the spires of the Morning Temple?
Yes, she would have been. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Perhaps it was through Ivanna that Andelka actually found some of the rest of you. Maybe she met Ivanna in Luskan and knew that she was going to be there. And perhaps Ivanna, you had some means in Luskan to sort of put out word to contact some of the others. Teddy Broomsticks.
Get off the sled, Ned. It's not your sled. You hear Teddy Broomsticks yell to the little imp that has managed to sneak up behind and take a seat on the sled there. Teddy Broomsticks and his twin brother Ned are a pair of they're gnomes, and they're from the caves in the surrounding areas. So Teddy Broomsticks, he has a small kind of dirty blonde beard, and he wears a big pointy hat because as a rock gnome he likes to have a roof over his head. He did have to cut little ear holes out of his hat, and you can see them kind of poking through. He carries all kinds of little gadgets and bits and bobs on his belt. He's very interested in the surrounding geology, and he enjoys recording different readings, some kind of like seismic readings perhaps. And that's because as a profession, before he kind of had a series of unfortunate events, he was a geotechnical engineer, and he came from a family of geotechnical engineers. And he's quite eager to head up north because he's very interested in the seismic readings that have been projected up there.
All right. Interesting. Seismic readings from like glaciers shifting, or from I don't know enough about seismic readings.
It's a very like tight-knit community, the geotechnical community. So he's had word that there's been a lot of good investigative potential up north. So he's decided to head up that way, hopefully to find what he might be looking for.
All right, awesome. Okay, Vakos, El Mariachi.
Yeah, you'll see Vakos probably pretty close to the sled, maybe 1 foot on, 1 foot off, some quick steps, and then a quick sled next to the lady Andelka. And he's wearing black muted leathers with some embroiderment, some very fine embroidery work. He carries his lute, so he's playing a tune, and I believe that the lady would have taken his company to keep her entertained, and not just entertained, but also an ear as well. So he'll be strumming along, maybe a song to Lathander, something about the rising sun, to keep her moods up, because I know she's going through a tough time at the moment with her son, the loss of her son.
Nice, yeah, she definitely appreciates a song about the rising sun, especially in this.
The guitar pick token is awesome.
You know, I didn't even realize that was what the deal was.
Yeah, I didn't get that's what you were going for.
Nice. All right, Varrik, Notch, Lockmere.
Okay, so you see He's a dwarven male, but he's tall and slender. He's almost of a height of a human. He almost looks human in build and appearance. He's all sort of wiry muscle beneath dark, close-fitting leathers. And his eyes are just constantly scanning. I think as he scans around, he'll get a look at the glutton in the background, and there's maybe a slight look of disgust there. As a man who has built his professional name amongst the nobles of Waterdeep, to see someone that's built a very unprofessional name, he's probably got a little bit of disgust for. He would be... So he's got a crossbow sort of held loosely in his hands, just constantly scanning, always ready and on the lookout. He's on this journey because he's well known amongst the nobility of Waterdeep. We'll say Waterdeep, that works. He's known by the alias Notch as a man who is a consummate professional for all the dirty jobs that the nobility don't want to do or don't want to be associated with. You hire Notch and he'll get it done. And he is currently on this job because there was a job that went slightly wrong and he needed to get out of town for a while. So he's taken jobs as far away from Waterdeep as he can to just lay low for a bit.
So he's also travelled to Luskan from Waterdeep.
Yep.
And then Andelka has come into contact with him and he's going even further into the north. All right.
As far away as he can.
Sweet. Okay. So you're all walking along and it begins to grow late in the day and it's getting quite dark and very cold. You've traveled in this environment for some time and it's getting especially cold. And Andelka sort of confesses to you that she's grown quite weary. And it's starting to look like you might have to... She says that it's not long now until you reach Dougan's Hole, but she thinks that it's very unlikely that you'll be able to continue tonight to reach Goodmead, because Goodmead is still several hours away after Dougan's Hole. So she wants to spend the night in Dougan's Hole and finish the journey in the morning. She warns you in advance that Dougan's Hole is little more than a cluster of simple dwellings, half buried in snow, and the residents are not known for their love of strangers. But you soon arrive, and you do still manage to find someone who's willing to rent you their barn for the night. And so it's probably sometime around 6 in the evening, just before then. It's getting quite dark, and you can all huddle into this barn to get out of the freezing cold wind and prepare to rest. Do you do anything as you're sort of settling down and preparing to rest for the night?
I think it's a good idea if we set up some watches throughout the night. Definitely, since we don't know what the environment's like. Any, people wandering past and just have sticky fingers.
Yeah, well, I would be happy to take the first watch. I can also, I would like to cast Druidcraft and just get a feel for the coming weather over the next night.
Okay. Can you pass post Druidcraft in the chat?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, please! It's just a simple village. I doubt you need to worry about any pilferers. We can just rest.
Someone might come and steal some more rations, Glarosh. I think we're struggling as it is.
You can always get more.
Can we stock up here for anything?
What you see when you enter here is just people sort of scurrying between their houses in the cold, pulling furs around them. There looks like there's very little in the way of an economy here, but you could ask around. Although it is getting dark, people are sort of shutting themselves away. Maybe there's a little bit of firelight flickering in some of the windows, but otherwise you might find it hard at this time to look for something to acquire. What were
Is
you...
there a tavern or anything, or...?
No, the town it's much smaller than that. Andelka can tell you that, if I recall, there was, somebody called Edith here that used to make ale and sell it from her house, but it doesn't look like. She kind of like looks around as she's sort of getting into this barn. It doesn't look like anyone's up and about at the moment, though.
We could just wait till good mead and we'll get some good mead.
True, but where are we gonna stay?
Yeah, is there like an interior space that's available in this town?
Just in this barn. So
barn,
you're able to rent this barn. Maybe Andelka sort of, heads in, leads the party in, and finds this elderly fellow who has just this small, basically wooden shed covered in snow. It's got a couple of goats in it that are sort of shivering as he leads you in there. There's like holes in the wooden walls. It's still like pretty cold in here. It's just a bit of hay on the floor, but at least the floor is like not covered in snow, and it's kind of protecting you from the wind.
So Notch is going to, before he settles down, he's going to do a full lap of the exterior of the shed, of the barn. He wants to know exactly how many entrances this thing has, doors, windows, anything that could be an entrance, and he's going to gauge the distance to the nearest buildings and just memorize all of that. And then he'll come in and he'll find a spot in the barn, maybe on some nice comfortable hay or something, where he can see both Glarosh and the rations.
What are you so worried about? It's fine.
There's probably one larger door at the back and a smaller door at the front, and then there's no windows. You get the impression they're trying to keep as much of the wind out as possible. And yeah, just a couple of shivering goats. You don't see anything else around. No immediate threats. Except for Glarosh, perhaps. But if you set up watches... Oh, sorry, Druidcraft. You think that... Let me see... Where there'll be location for 24 hours. You think that tomorrow is likely to be a little bit clearer than tonight?
Okay.
Your senses tell you that perhaps this snow will ease up a little bit.
Okay.
You might have.
I'll communicate that to everybody.
Okay. But yeah, if you wish to set watches, what order do you set them in?
Notch is happy to go first.
I can go second.
I'll go third.
Done. And Vakos will take the fourth.
Then I go last.
So... Probably... Yep, go ahead.
Is the barn large enough to have a small campfire in the middle of the barn?
It's a wooden barn. There's like hay on the ground. You could kind of move the hay aside. You don't know where you would find wood, though.
Okay, fuel. Yep. That's okay. I was just thinking.
Yeah, probably not. Unfortunately. Okay. But we can assume actually that you're all wearing cold weather clothes. I forgot to mention that before Angelo brought it up. I'm sure you would all have that, given that you've been in this sort of northern area for some time. There are trees nearby. You could actually leave the town and go and like kind of head some way away from the town and look for some wood in the nearby pine forest.
That's fine. Given the conditions, it'd be very difficult to find something that we can use that will sustain us throughout the night.
Yeah, especially while it's snowing.
Yeah.
All right. So you settle down to sleep, an uneasy sleep. Notch takes the first watch. After he passes the watch to Ivanna, it's like sometime after midnight. And Ivanna, you hear something when you're on watch. What are you doing on watch? Are you just... Where are you?
I'd be at the door, kind of. Would it be cracked, or is it like open, or?
You could open it a crack if you wanted to. You'd let some, like, it's like...
Yeah, so I'll probably be at the door, outside the door, in the cold, if I'm actually watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're just outside the door in the cold, you hear something. You hear a shout from some distance away. You're maybe like a few rows of houses in, or I don't know if there are exactly rows in this town, but there's a couple of houses in from this sort of forested, wooded area. You hear like a shout from that area, and you hear like a sort of a bit of a commotion, and it sounds like maybe a scuffle. You hear like a couple of loud thuds and another shout and some footsteps. Do you do anything?
Are they coming towards us or away, or?
They don't seem to be coming towards you, just sort of running, yeah, like just across some way further along, like kind of, what do you call it? Adjacent, parallel to you.
Okay. Can I see anything?
No, you don't see anything through the snow.
Do I ever feel like my the people I'm with would like to be woken up for a shout and and some footsteps?
How long have we been traveling together so far?
Quite a while now, I'll say.
Yeah. You would know absolutely that Notch would want to be woken.
So I go to Notch first. I shake him. I'm like, there's a shout. I know how much you love them.
All right, he'll get up again, and he'll go have a look. So I'll go out the door. I'll ask which direction. So which direction was it from?
As you're asking that, actually, you hear like, help, help!
Okay.
He's gonna turn around. He's gonna say, "Wake the others," and then he's gonna head that direction.
Before he heads
crossbow out.
I guidance him on the back.
Oh, you beauty.
All right.
Off you go.
So you just go by yourself, Notch?
Yeah, he's stealthing now.
Is anyone else going with him?
Yeah, I'm waking everybody. I'm like, there's something going on outside, guys.
He won't go too far. He's just going to see if he can sneak forward a little bit and see if he can get eyes on whatever's going on.
And everyone's got dark vision, yeah? Does anyone know?
I do, yeah.
Yes.
I think everyone would. Okay, if you take you walk a few meters towards the woods, you think you see something ahead, just before the tree line. It looks like an individual. You see just this silhouette of a person kind of fall to their knees and collapse face first in the snow. You look around, you don't see anyone else around. That's all you see.
They looked like they were coming out of the tree line towards the village.
They look like they were running like across the tree line, like along the tree line.
Okay. And how far away?
From you now?
Yeah.
Maybe 5 or 6 meters?
I will move over to them then and check on them.
When you walk over, and is anyone else kind of catching up to Notch?
Yeah, Vakos would.
Yeah, Glarosh is just complaining, like, do we have to wake up for every shout late at night?
I knew you'd be like this.
By the time he says that, everyone's gone.
He just stumbles along.
Yeah.
All right.
Teddy's just got his little legs trying to catch up.
All right. Yeah, you're probably like part way buried in the snow.
Yeah, I just pick Teddy up
Yeah, great.
by the
Yeah.
head and just lift him up like that.
His ears kind of get stuck in his hat. Oh.
All right. Well, you kind of you all approach this this body on the ground, and you can see pretty quickly. It looks like the body of a human man. And Notch, if you sort of reach down towards this body and shake it, it doesn't move, and it has there's an arrow sticking out of this man's back.
So as soon as he sees the arrow, his eyes are back up on the tree line, and he's got his crossbow out, and he's just scanning the tree line. And then he'll kind of step aside from the body to let the others deal with that.
He doesn't see anything.
Is the gentleman alive still? Is there life in him? If Vakos takes a knee to assist?
Yeah, you can sort of take a knee and try to sort of lift him up a little bit from his shoulder. And he's just floppy. He appears to be dead. He's already starting to turn blue in the cold.
Yeah, I just hit him with the bunt of my halberd. I'm like, yeah, pretty dead to me.
I think he was hit by an arrow.
Really? That's crazy.
Let's get him back to the town.
I think probably also at this point Andelka is walking over with this big fur wrapped around her. She says, what is it? And maybe there are even a couple of townsfolk, sort of village folk emerging from their houses. What's going on out there?
I think Notch maybe says to Vakos, get this guy to the villagers, see if they know who he is, and then he's going to, keeping his eyes on the tree line, he's going to shuffle, and what's her name?
Andelka,
back towards the barn. Like, get inside.
Is there anything like identifiable of the flight? Is it anything unusual, or the flight feathers, or the arrow?
If you mean you want to, did you say the fight?
The flight, the flight feathers of the arrow. Is it unique? Or is it like standard? Yeah.
Yeah, is it like a crossbow bolt or like an arrow?
You think a crossbow bolt?
A special.
Okay.
A crossbow bolt, but you don't notice anything in particular about the feathers of the bolt or anything like that that would make you think that it's.
What about the actual gentleman? Is he in common clothing, or does he look part of like maybe a guard or a commoner? Is he does he have any a necklace which is you can identify him by, or?
He's dressed just in pretty basic clothes. He's got like a cape, like a furred cape, leather belt, thick leather shoes, boots. It's hard to identify exactly what his profession would be, but how do you determine if he has anything on him that's identifiable?
I might give him a quick pat down. Like he might have a necklace below his shirt top, or maybe a ring.
Give me a perception check.
That might be a signet.
And as you're kind of patting him down, some of these villagers that are nearby, there's a couple of them sort of creeping over. One of them's like, "Is it those damn zombies again?" You hear this lady say, There's no zombies, that's just a rumor. And somebody else says, "Well then why has the priest been blessing all them graves then?" And somebody else is like, "I saw one of those zombies with my own 2 eyes, walking of its own free will in the woods." And they're like, "Shh, shh, shh." With the
Glarosh is like, "Clearly he's been shot. It's obviously a murder. Come on, people."
They're like, "Oh, it's a murder. It's a murder. These are dark times indeed." With a perception check of a 3, you still find you find an arrow. You still find a couple of things. When you lift this man up to sort of move him around in order to go through his pockets and things, something falls out of one of his pockets, perhaps an inside pocket in his vest. It looks like a vial of some kind, like a potion vial. And you can pick it up, and it looks like it's like nearly empty. There's just a little bit of this strange black fluid in the vial. You also notice as you turn this man over that he has a tattoo on his forearm. As you're kind of going through things, sort of pulling his coat out, you see this tattoo, and you kind of pull the sleeve down a little bit from the inside, to look at this tattoo. To see if you can identify him or learn anything about him. This tattoo depicts a crossed pick, blade, and shovel set beneath an orange flame on a blue field. But you don't find anything else.
I might even ask Teddy if he recognizes this symbol.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, did someone say shovel? Shovel, so I kind of...
It's shovel and a pick?
Yeah, shovel and a pick. I'm going to go up to the symbol and perhaps Arcana, or what do you think might be the best check for a little... to see if Teddy kind of recognizes this symbol.
Just give me a history check.
History, sure. Oh, that's pretty good.
Although you don't think this is related to your particular profession.
Sure.
What was your profession again? Something to do with seismic activity.
Teddy is a geotechnical consultant.
Geotechnical consultant.
What would be the fantasy version of that? Like a geomancer?
No, there's plenty of geotechnical consultants in fantasy. Don't you worry about that.
You don't think it has anything to do with geotechnical consultancy, but nevertheless you recognize it anyway as the emblem of the city of Fireshare.
Ooh. Yeah, Teddy certainly perks up at this idea of Fireshare. Would Teddy know anything about the city? Could I roll for that, perhaps?
Okay, so if you look in the handouts again, in the map of the Frozen Far, actually I can show this to you, hold on. I should be able to show players. Fireshare is down to the southwest.
So we're not walking that direction at all.
No, it's like you kind of passed by it as you came up from Luskan and sort of traveled around the spine of the world. But Fireshare is a remote outpost comprised of buildings dug out of the rock and made of stone. You might enjoy that.
There's lots of geotechnical analysis to be done there.
He'd know all about Fireshare.
Yeah.
On your bucket list.
It's a city. A city.
Tourist hotspot.
It's a city sat above cliffs carved with ramps that allowed access to a shallow bay. And I'm just trying to look at like who lives there.
Teddy was incredibly disappointed that we wouldn't
I know.
stop in there on the way past.
You better believe I tried to convince Andelka. I thought, do you have like an extra 24 hours perhaps?
It looks like a large population of dwarves live there.
Yep, common clients, of course.
But also some humans as well. And this man is not a dwarf, but a human.
So it's like the city sigil that's been tattooed on this man.
Yes.
Notch is going to, this time somewhat forcefully, point out the fact that this man has been shot with an arrow and we should all get inside.
Who is this man?
And then he's going to go and grab one of the villagers and ask them directly, do they know this guy?
No. Never seen him.
Did Teddy tell us that he's from Fireshare?
Oh yeah, sorry, I did. Yep. I said that's a man from Fireshare if I've ever seen one.
Then he'll ask, do you often get people from Fireshare, or were you expecting anyone from Fireshare?
Oh no, not from down there. Not for a while. They don't have much reason to come up here.
And then he's
sorry. Ask him about. Should we be concerned about him returning as a zombie if there were word of zombies?
Yeah, I think he'll ask more kind of broadly. He'll just say, "What's all this talk of zombies? What's going on around here?"
Oh, there have just been sightings, rumors. I do suggest maybe burning the body or having it blessed by a priest or something.
Can I bless it with my magical yellow holy water?
Yeah, you can do that.
Isn't Andelka a priest?
She is.
Let's let Andelka do it. She does these things all the time.
Let's let the NPC use resources.
my holy water's suspect anyway, so.
Right, okay.
Andelka says, "Oh, I don't have any holy water on me. I had to leave in a hurry and packed very light, I'm afraid. But I can say a few words, of course."
If you guys are interested, I am happy to create a bonfire for this body if we would like that.
Well, let's get it inside first, because let's not torch it until we've done a thorough check.
Yeah, I'd rather not have the smell.
Sorry, did we get the answer about the zombies?
So you were asking if you should do anything with the corpse.
What's this talk about zombies? What's going on around here?
There's just been sightings of them. A few people have seen them walking about and claiming that they're out there in the night walking through the woods and through the snowy fields. It's just rumors. I don't know if I believe it myself, but the priest has at least taken it quite seriously. And as I mentioned, has been blessing the graves.
From what I know, zombies don't tend to use crossbows. What have you got? Are there raiders, bandits? Do you get this sort of thing?
No, it's quite rare for anyone really to come visiting around Dougan's Hall. There's not really much to do around here, nor nothing to steal for bandits.
All right, we move back into the barn if everyone is in agreement, and we take the body with us. And Notch will post up as a watch at the door just cracked, so he can kind of keep an eye on the tree line.
Maybe when you get in there as well, Andelka sort of gets her hands on this potion, this near empty potion vial, sort of puts on these old like wiry spectacles and sort of squints and looks at it.
Oh, this doesn't look like anything from around here.
Vakos, Teddy, give him a thorough search.
Okay, I will focus on clothing and pockets, search through those kind of things.
Seeing as you're doing a thorough search and you've got plenty of time to do it, I won't ask for a roll. You are able to find a small pouch with 17 silver pieces in it, and you also find a gold bracelet on his wrist. But you don't find anything else.
Would anybody like a gold bracelet?
You'd probably also find like a dagger, his belt, a couple of like minor mundane things.
I'll take a free gold bracelet.
Yeah, Teddy just hands over the gold braces, the gold bracelet.
I'm more of a silver guy, but put it in the pouch.
Can I have a look at the potion with Ivanna? What's her name?
And you, Ivanna?
Yeah, what's her name? Like
Andelka.
Andelka.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she'll hand you the potion, and you can have a look at it.
A sniff and like a little taste. Got a herbalism ability.
Yeah, okay. If you're going to sort of pull the cork out and like just take a little taste of it, give me a medicine check, and you can add your proficiency bonus for the for the herbalism kit. Let me think. Maybe just give me a flat medicine check, actually, I think. You are not sure what this is. You don't know. But it has a very bitter taste. And, it almost kind of makes you, like, draw back as soon as it, like, touches your tongue.
It tastes like shit.
So I'm still watching this tree line, just keeping an eye out.
Yeah, you don't see anything. Nothing else happens.
Teddy might go up to Andelka and just kind of ask if she knows anything about fire shear, or if there's any kind of strange happenings going on in that area. Not because I want to go. Not because I want to go. Just in case.
She says,
Oh, isn't it quite a coincidence that fire shear has come up again after you've been talking about it for the entire journey?
She sort of chuckles.
She says, nothing that I can think of, although my, as you know, my one of my sons, one of my grandchildren, does a lot of traveling around these parts, so it's possible he might have some connection to this person from Fire Shear. He's a merchant.
He's in good mead? Is he in good mead?
He is, yes. At least I should think so. When I received the message, I was still in Waterdeep, and it's been some weeks since then. But my son, Mikael Androma, he started a company out of Goodmead called the Androma Mead and Merchanting Company, or the AMMC. It's primarily a mead-making business, beekeeping and such, but it's expanded, as I understand, in recent years to include transport of all kinds of other goods from 10 Towns and Icewind Dale to the south, to Luskan, and beyond to the Sword Coast. So, no, I don't know anything specifically about Fire Shear, but perhaps if we run into my grandson, he might know something about who this deceased gentleman is, or was.
Well, thank you for that good advice.
Oh, my pleasure.
Notch will kind of, over his shoulder, ask if Andelka knows the local priest of this area. The villager mentioned that the priest was concerned about zombies or something like that.
Oh, I can't say that I do, actually. I haven't spent much time in Duggan's Hole. Only enough to remember where to get an ale when I was younger from Edith.
So we didn't find anything else on this guy?
No, nothing else. Maybe just a bag with some old dates in it or something like that, like a little bit of food. Yeah, not much else. Dagger.
Would we know, I know we're going off the beaten path, but would we know roughly how long of a travel it would take to get to Goodmead? Because I think we'll be able to find out a little bit more there.
Yeah, Andelka can tell you that it will probably take maybe 4 or 5 hours more to get to Goodmead.
Oh, okay.
So she would have said that hopefully everyone can get up early and make their way there because the funeral is sort of sometime in midday. So she thinks, yeah, if you get up and kind of head to Goodmead, you'll make it in time for the funeral. That was her plan.
Well, Teddy thinks Teddy's kind of settling down for the night again. Hopefully people have forgotten it was his watch next, or perhaps all this commotion has just gone through his watch anyway, and he'll get to sleep off the rest of the night. So Teddy's going to settle down over with Ned in the corner, which Ned's kept a low profile because seems like they're a little bit untoward zombies and such. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Ned is Teddy's demon familiar. He's a little imp. But he's also his twin brother. So his twin brother got turned into an imp, unfortunately. And yeah, so they're just going to go and quieten down for the night again.
Glarosh is just like, damn it, after all this racket, it's now my watch. Oh, well. Ugh.
And did you have the final watch? Or there four quick watches?
Well, I don't know how much time this took, but if Teddy missed his
about an hour
watch,
or so.
then I guess he'll just have the last watch then, I guess.
It'll be Vakos, I think, then you.
Oh, then, yeah.
Do we have to sleep with this body?
Yeah, the body is just still lying
Look,
there.
Yeah.
I can, I can just take it outside, you know?
Do you want to burn the body? Because I can light a bonfire and burn the body quite easily.
I mean, just do that. I mean, it'll do it outside.
Yes. Yeah, I think the barn would go up in flame otherwise.
Vakos will definitely head out with Teddy.
Well, Teddy's just kind of pulling one leg, can't really move the body on his own.
It's leaving this like trail of blood on the wooden floor.
Are any of the villagers still hanging around?
No, now all of them have kind of skidded away and slammed their doors.
It's just a casual Tuesday night murder.
We're just gonna take this with us, guys.
So Vakos definitely wants to, once we get the body set up, he definitely wants to use Sacred Flame on the body.
Okay.
Now, I would say it's not so much, I would say the Black Flames flavored from Vakos up from the floor.
Pretty.
All right. Maybe this
Does
body
it come up kind of from the ground like pyrotechnics at a gig? Like strums his lute and
I just go
like sparks, like well, maybe especially with the fire that's burning the body, this kind of mixes in a strange way with this dark energy that you're drawing from the earth, and kind of does create some sort of black sparks and things in the flames. When nothing else happens, you can kind of sit and watch this body burn and finish your watches. The rest of the evening passes uneventfully. And in the morning, Andelka sort of urges you to keep the near empty vial as evidence, and then sort of hurries you on to sort of return to the task of escorting her to the funeral. And you perhaps the priest in this village does actually come to see you in the morning, and sort of says, "Oh, very good, yes. Well, I'm glad that you burned the body. Some don't believe it.
Nice of you to show up now.
Well, I only just heard about it. I live on the other side of the village, over there." He points like 3 houses away. Apparently there is someone or something summoning the dead, or perhaps they're waking of their own. I thought I saw something myself, but I can't be sure. It did continue to snow for some time, but as the sun begins to come up, the snow begins to subside.
Just thinking maybe
Tracks.
he tracks, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have a look. Ivanna and Notch will go to the tree line and have a bit of a scan for any tracks or sign of someone being there.
I think after... Yeah, it has been snowing for several hours, and I think you just see kind of soft, untouched snow. There's no tracks.
Is there any yellow snow?
Is there now?
Look, some tracks.
You see your own tracks. They lead to the yellow patch. All right. So you continue on towards Goodmead. And the path from Dougan's Hole is about 6 miles long, and it takes you about 4 hours. What did I say before? 6 hours? 5 to 6 hours? You pick up the pace a bit. Andelka is pretty keen to get there. It takes you 4 hours. You do it quicker than expected. And you arrive at Goodmead in the late morning on the day of the funeral. And Goodmead is a modest village of timber buildings tucked between this evergreen pine forest and this frozen lake. The streets are covered in snow, and there's a large mead hall with smoking chimneys at the center near the town pier. There's this one pier leading out into this frozen lake. And yeah, the snow is subsiding. It's still cold. It's like -3 degrees Celsius. But that's a little bit warmer than it has been, actually. It's like it actually feels like a pretty warm day. And you can hear the wind blowing between the houses and the goings-on of a small town as people are sort of waking up and talking amongst themselves. And you also hear bees buzzing. And as you enter the town and sort of guide the dog sled past the lake, Andelka tells you that there's a space actually for bee husbandry within the mead hall, which explains the buzzing sound. Goodmead is home to about 100 people, predominantly human, and you see some of them now sort of walking around, shuffling between buildings in the snow, and they seem barely curious. The cold has sort of robbed them of their curiosity. Apparently, they barely even look over at you as you pass through this town. And Andelka directs you along the northwest road to a large estate past the edge of the town that kind of sits by the border of the woods. And as you approach this estate and sort of pass in through the gate, a young man comes into view. He's like standing on the porch of this 2-story building, and he's just sort of standing there somberly before this like large wooden door, just kind of watching you motionlessly as the dogs pull the sled to a stop before him. And this man is he's tall, lean, but also quite muscular. He's dressed in fur and leather, and he has long, straight, dark hair that's sort of tucked behind his ears. And as the sled pulls up, Andelka kind of stands in the sled and says, "Oh, Brakior, you poor dear." And she sort of offers her hand to him, and he helps her out.
What a terrible business this is.
And you realize this is Andelka's grandson, Brakior Androma. She would have mentioned the name. And Andelka asks Brakior, her grandson, about Mikael's death, Mikael being her son. And Brakior sort of explains that Mikael was in his late 40s, but he died suddenly at the stroke of midnight, as if out of nowhere. He was playing dragon chess at the time with a friend named Lithando Abuchi, and apparently Lithando says that it was as if the gods themselves reached into the room and stopped his heart. It was completely unexpected. And Andelka shakes her head solemnly and says,
These are dark times.
And she sort of mentions the murder in Dougan's Hole and tells of how all of you handled the situation. She sort of praises you for your service, escorting her to Goodmead, and also for taking the situation seriously with the corpse in Dougan's Hole. And Brakior reacts with great interest. He says, "Oh, really?" He kind of looks among you all. Can you describe the man to me?
Pleasure to meet you, Brakior. I'll
Likewise.
Go ahead and describe approximately how tall he was, and in particular mentions he had some sort of ink work that might be of interest. Of the shovel, the pick, and the setting sun, I think.
Oh, really? The emblem of Fireshear. Interesting. I think I know who that might be. That sounds like a man that I know, a man named Jorgen. An employee of my brother, Haktar.
What would Jorgen be doing so far north? Running into trouble at Dougan's Hole, do you think?
Well, I don't know why he would be at Dougan's Hole, but he works for my brother, who lives in Goodmead, so he lives around here. He has for some years now. And I don't know what he would be doing there.
And what was your brother's name?
Haktar.
Hector.
He kind
Glarosh kind of strokes his beard as well, like, interesting enough, I think that man died around near midnight as well, like, pretty mysterious circumstances. You don't think they might be related to the death of your relative, do you think?
Would you say that he died by an arrow?
Well, the arrow hit him, but who knows if it was the arrow that killed him. I mean... he presumably had to. And didn't you have that vial of something with you? Maybe he drank some sort of poison or something.
So
Vakos
yes. Would just open up his jacket, his cloak, and just show him the vial. Not to make it too yeah.
He takes this vial from you and sort of holds it up in the light, and you see his eyes widen. He says, This is I don't know what to say. I think you're right. I think there is a connection. What was your name again?
Vakos, and these are my companions, and you'll introduce everyone.
Yes, I'm Glarosh, the guy who made the masterful connection. Stroking the beard.
Yes, in fact, I feel... This is... He kind of hesitates. He's still, like, looking at this vial. He looks at his grandmother, Andelka. Grandmother, I am quite confident that Mikael was murdered. She's like, murdered? He says, I think it has this, I don't want to say too much, but this, if Jorgen was really in possession of this vial, well, let's just say I have a theory. He kind of looks at all of you a little bit uncomfortably, given that he doesn't know you. Yes, I would prefer not to say too much about this. If my theory is correct, though, I might actually be in danger myself. You know, I don't actually live in Goodmead. I live in, I've gone blank on the name of the other city.
Fireshare?
No, not Fireshare. I can't... Hold on a second. Bryn Shander. I live in Bryn Shander, some way from here. And, I came here for the funeral without my people. He looks at his grandmother again and says, so, you say they were, these friends of yours are quite good in a pinch. She nods, and he says, tell me, all of you, what are you doing in Goodmead? What are your plans going forward?
Why would your brother be murdered?
I have a theory, but I would prefer not to go into too much detail. If I'm wrong, the consequences could be severe.
Is this something nefarious?
He sort of looks away and looks back at you and sort of shrugs. He's definitely acting a bit strange. He doesn't want to talk about whatever it is.
He's a grandson, right?
Yes.
Notch then says, our business in Goodmead is under the employ of your grandmother. Our business here is her business, whatever she wishes of us.
He says, okay, well, I might have a job for you. Look, at least I can tell you this. This vial, I believe, contained a potion known as Midnight Tears. It is a potion that, when it's ingested, it will kill you at the stroke of midnight.
Everyone just looks across at Ivanna.
I don't see any tears.
He says, wait, do you mean to say that you drank this potion?
I tried it.
What do you mean you tried it? You mean
Tasted bad.
Was it full?
No. It's just a taste to see if I could identify it. And I couldn't.
Just a taste. You might be okay. You might die, but you might be okay.
I spare the dying.
just cast on you somehow.
You might want to do it to midnight, you know, just to see what happens. Just in
Prophylactic,
case.
spare the dying.
Why would Jorgen be carrying such a potion?
I could not say. I'm not sure.
Is it a potion or a poison? Does it have to be drunk, or can it be, let's say, shot at somebody?
No, it is, I believe, from what I know, it is really a poison.
So it's something that you would have to mix in with a drink or something.
I believe so.
So Notch works essentially as a spy and like a thief for nobility. Would he know this potion is something that is carried as like a suicide potion from someone that doesn't want a message to be taken from them or something like that? Has he heard of it before?
Yeah, I think Notch would have heard of this potion, actually. And I think he would know that it's quite difficult to come by. It's, considered to be like contraband, or it's not, it's in most places it's either frowned upon or it's illegal. Yeah. So yeah, like you would know about it. Whether or not somebody would acquire it and use it for suicide is like, maybe.
There's easier ways to kill yourself, Notch. Better poisons too. This one you would use for, I guess, covert reasons, I suppose.
How do you know about this poison?
I would rather not say too much. You can give me an insight check if you wish.
Sure.
Can I do one as well?
Yeah.
This is kind of his jam.
Yep. Both of you can tell that he definitely seems to be hiding something. He looks a little bit uncomfortable. He's definitely not saying everything.
Uncomfortable as in guilty or uncomfortable as in worried?
It's difficult for you to discern that. He's a pretty stone-faced individual, really. You don't know if it's partly just because of the funeral, but he's kind of hard to read, but he's definitely sort of hesitating a little bit.
So Notch, with a hand kind of under his cloak, grabs hold of a small piece of copper wire, and he uses that to cast Message, the cantrip.
Just so you know, if you cast Message, it will make a sound when you cast it, so everyone will know that you're casting it. Let me have a look. I think, unless I'm wrong.
I think it's verbal, yeah.
Well, it says you cast a message that only the target can hear.
Yeah, but you have to speak to actually... oh, wait.
Whisper a message.
Oh, no, it looks like they've changed.
And only the target hears the message.
Looks like it's changed. But hold on a second. Creature within range. Whisper a message. Has it changed? I remember this in the past, and I remember concluding that you couldn't just sort of do it when you're like standing in a roleplay situation without being noticed.
He'll move away a little bit if he needs to, like maybe he'll move over to the sleds or something. But he's just going to cast Message to I keep forgetting her name. What's our employer's name?
Andelka. Yeah, Andelka. If you kind of take a step back, I mean, this requires some you will also have to be sort of moving your hands around a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm sure it'd be. So his magic is all sort of based upon being a thief and a spy. So he would have developed a method to kind of do it subtly with a wire to use as the material. Whatever he needs to do. Usually in this sort of situation, I say that magic is like very hard to use when you're in this kind of situation. It's like magic generally in my games is not something that you can just kind of, unless you have an actual feature that allows you to cast subtly, you're generally kind of making noise and actions and sort of generating energy and this sort of thing. All right, he'll do it openly then, but only what's her name will hear the message, and the message is essentially, your grandson doesn't seem to trust us, but he clearly knows more.
All right, and you can kind of, if you take a step back to the sleds and sort of do this and try to keep it on the DL. Maybe give me a what's your spellcasting ability?
Wisdom.
Maybe give me a...
Do you want sleight of hand to try and hide it?
Maybe not sleight of hand. Maybe just give me a wisdom check. Just a flat wisdom check.
Flat wisdom?
Can I give him some help action by distracting him by just asking about something?
If you try to, how do you distract him from?
I'm just like, oh, I'm very curious about something here. How do you get the bees to bring honey when in all this snow and ice?
Yeah, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Notch waits for some kind of loud, boisterous comment to come out of this Dragonborn, and that's when he does it.
And he probably inadvertently gets in all himself in view of and kind of blocking him a bit.
Okay, 12's not going to do it, but you can roll again. You can have advantage because of the help action.
Oh, I didn't even realize I pressed it.
No,
that was
that was insight. Oh, sorry. Yeah, roll a wisdom check with advantage.
I've never heard of these
come on.
snow bees.
No, unfortunately, he's still kind of. He seems very disinterested in what Glarosh is saying. His father's just died. He's just like, what? And he's like, what is that man? Is he human or is he a dwarf? I can't tell. What is he doing? He sort of sees you like, kind of whisper this message to Andelka. Is he using magic? Andelka sort of like turns towards you, and she can answer, right? She
can answer me, and only I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, she. Let me see. Does she answer you without saying anything? She kind of opens her mouth like, sorry, grandson. She kind of like stutters, goes quiet. She'll then attempt to reply awkwardly. I think, I don't know. It's, we should trust my grandson.
So he was more just sort of prompting her to be like, hey, we've just noticed that he's hiding something, he knows more, but he doesn't trust us. So kind of prompting her to be like, you should ask him.
Teddy's going to ask Haktar. I believe we're talking to Haktar at the moment.
Brakior. His brother is Haktar.
Oh, sorry, Brakior. Teddy's going to ask if he's involved in the honey manufacturing at all. Is that part of his business?
Maybe I'll say that Andelka first sort of takes him aside a little bit to ask him. She kind of, after responding to Notch, she kind of realizes what he's getting at and sort of turns back to her grandson Brakior and just takes him aside for a second and just has like a moment with him. He just kind of, you see him sort of shaking his head and just kind of saying, like, you get the impression he's just saying like, I can't say anything right now. And at this point you can ask him about the honey trade. He says, I am a caravaneer. My brother Haktar took after my father and learned the mead making business. Mm-hmm. You may have heard of his famous mead, good old bad mead. It's called. It was his breakthrough mead some years ago, and I hear they drink it even as far south in the Sword Coast even.
I'm just going to look at Glarosh and kind of gauge whether or not he would have heard of such a mead.
I feel like I don't even need to do a history check to know that I know that mead.
Yeah, I think you would know that mead.
That's one of the better meads out there. I won't say that much.
He says, yes, my brother does have a talent for these things. Me, myself, I would prefer to be on the road, so I am actually responsible for transporting these meads and other goods to the south. But yes, mead making is Haktar's wheelhouse. He seems a little bit displeased when he speaks about his brother. I'm not sure why. But he says, the thing is, I find it strange also that Jorgen was murdered. Why? Was somebody trying to tie up loose ends? It seems like there must be somebody else involved.
What was Jorgen's job? What was his relationship with your brother?
He was quite close with my brother, actually. He served him as a bodyguard and somebody who could get things done. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
He kind of like gives you a look. You can tell like he thinks that you do. He's like, well, here's what I propose. If you're looking for work, I would like to hire you. As I said, I have come here from Bryn Shander without my people, and I am rather exposed, and I feel I may also be in some danger. If you are looking for work, would you be willing to serve as my bodyguards for the rest of the day, for the funeral and for the wake afterwards, just to make sure that nothing happens until I can head back to Bryn Shander and rejoin with my own people? I would pay you each 20 gold pieces.
Notch gestures towards his grandmother and says, if our service to your grandmother is concluded, it's up to her.
Oh yes, it would continue to be of service of me to protect my grandson, of course, if he feels he's in danger.
Then I'm certainly available.
Sounds fine to me. I wouldn't mind trying some of the mead here.
If we're going to pay our respects, why not get paid for it as well?
Okay. Good. Well, if you don't mind, I'll be maybe a few minutes or so, and then I will. Then we can get going to the mead hall. He kind of disappears inside for a moment. Perhaps he and Andelka disappear through the front door to this mansion and leave you there for a moment.
They're not just making mead. Mark my words. It is not just mead that they are making.
Notch looks...
Look, if I'm being honest, the mead is a bit shit. But that's just my opinion, of course, as somewhat of a gourmand.
Maybe they should stick with honeycomb.
Well, it must. Well, I don't know how the bees are getting the honey, so maybe it's they've got weaker honey. So I don't know. I don't know how bees work too much.
Notch lets the rest of the group know that he was hiding something. He knew more than he was letting on, and he says that I'm pretty sure Ivanna noticed it as well, and looks over at her.
Yeah, this guy is sus. Yeah, that's all I could tell you guys. Sorry. Keep an eye out.
If he needs bodyguards, there's a reason why.
All right, and
Did
after
anyone else pick up on? The brothers. They don't like each other. Did anyone else get that kind of feeling?
Yes.
It's just brother things. Do you not have brothers?
Oh,
Teddy
just looks over at Ned.
The evil brother.
Oh, yeah, sometimes the resemblance is a bit different, so I guess I didn't really consider that.
Glarosh, you should have inspiration for playing a very unperceptive character with low insight, with -1 to your insight. An uninsightful character has some inspiration.
I'll take it. I do.
All right, after a few
A lot
minutes.
of insight to Mead.
Say again.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Got a lot of insight
This is
into
Mead.
Mead.
Yes, of course.
After a few minutes, they return, and they lead you all through the streets of Goodmead. It's just a walk through these snowy streets to the funeral. And at the funeral, you stand back and watch as a group of maybe about 20 family members and friends and some employees, some shady-looking characters as well, like some big-looking, scary-looking people, undesirables, but also just like locals. Can
I do two things before the funeral gets underway?
Okay.
First one, on the walk there, I want to talk to Brakior.
Okay.
And just start asking him questions about. So I want to say, you're confident that there is some kind of threat. What can you tell us about the threat? What are you expecting? What should we be ready for?
He doesn't want to tell you anything more. He just repeats that if he kind of puts his theory into words and he's wrong, it could result in negative outcomes. And he just says, please just trust me for now. You'll get your gold after the day is over.
Okay, and the second thing is at the funeral, I just want to either be on the lookout or maybe use some kind of thieves' cant symbol or something, maybe put it on like my collar or something, just something really subtle to indicate that I'm looking for another Thieves Guild member in town looking to buy.
Okay.
Just in case there's someone at the funeral that would pick up on that.
How do you put it on your, what is it, like a...
hang on, let me read the thing. It says I can make a mark or something. Where is it?
What do you use though? Do you have like some chalk or some...
That's a good question. I don't know. I'd even just put my finger in the snow or something and just put like a little wet mark on the collar or something. Thieves' cant. There it is. No, that doesn't tell me anything about it.
Yeah, so I do remember it's kind of like...
So I can...
a language of like signs and symbols and things.
Yeah. Well, you can use words that have double meanings in conversation that only another thief would understand, or you can do hand signals. There's all sorts of things, and it takes like 4 times as long to get a message across. So something you could say in a minute will take 4 minutes in Thieves' Cant. But there's also something about being able to leave symbols that only people that know Thieves' Cant will understand.
Does anyone in the party have any writing materials or anything like that?
I can make a magic mark using prestidigitation. Would that do the trick?
How long does it last?
I have
That's an hour.
It would be incredibly subtle, so I think I can actually do a magical mark, but I'm not sure. But I've got a candle, so how about I just, using the wax of the candle, I put the mark on my collar. So it's very subtle, but another thief would know it. It's supposed to be hard to detect.
All right. Yeah, that works.
And in 2024, where's that driven from again?
You get
just if you're a rogue?
It's a rogue ability.
A rogue, okay.
You get it from being a rogue. Where's the rest of the text? I was looking at it earlier.
I'll say at the funeral, so you kind of watch all of these people sort of gathered around this burial mound, and there's this like priest of Kelemvor performing some ancient rites, and it's pretty somber. Not much is really said. Perhaps just a couple of unknown family members sort of get up and say like just a few words. Notch, you actually throughout the course of this funeral see like multiple shady individuals at the funeral. Like a lot of people kind of looking over at you suspiciously. And they're looking at everyone in the group, but they are looking at you in particular.
Is there, like, maybe, I don't know, with Thieves' Cant, maybe there's like just a subtle little hand gesture or something that you make which identifies you as someone that speaks Thieves' Cant. So I'm doing that to see if anyone responds.
Like gang signs?
Well, it'd be, or even maybe more like a baseball sign, you know, like the way you touch your hat, or like brush your shoulder, or something like that. It's really subtle that only a trained thief knows.
I think you get a sign back from one of these individuals. There is a man with a long beard in a hooded cloak who is sort of standing at the back. As I said, there are many shady-looking people around, but this guy actually gives you the same symbol back, the same gang sign.
Okay, I just note him for now.
All right. Yeah, and he doesn't exactly come over to you at the funeral or anything like that. But you do then follow this crowd of people as they walk over to the Mead Hall, which has been opened for the wake, you're told. And the public are invited, and several of the townspeople sort of trickle in. And the Mead Hall is located at the center of town, across from the wharf. And when you go in there, you see this large, flame-lit hall filled with these like trestle tables and seats. And it also has some other areas in it, you're told, that are dedicated to like bee husbandry and the making of mead and that sort of thing. You can hear the sound of buzzing that's sort of filling this hall, but nobody really notices. Everyone's used to it. And I'll take us over to a Mead Hall map.
I changed my cloak to be a bit more funeral-like.
Perhaps you should indulge quite a bit in some mead, Ivanna, drown out the poison a bit.
Yeah, or enjoy your last 12 hours.
Yes, all that.
Good thing you tasted at about 12:15 this morning. Make the most out of it.
Yeah, make the most of my life. I was meant to live for hundreds of years.
Is that Brakior?
That's Brakior. Can you see his name?
He comes up as unknown creature.
Let me see. Oh, it's interesting. It hides it even though I've set it to... Okay. Maybe it's because... Hold on. What about now?
Still says unknown creature.
Strange. Okay. I added a module to try to hide the names of the characters, but it seems like it's hiding it even when I don't want it to hide it. Dunno. Oh, yes, that is Brakior. And he leads you into this large hall. And he heads straight for the bar at the other end of the hall. And you can watch him sort of go up to the bar and like order an ale. You note that it's not a mead.
Never get higher on your own supply.
I told you.
All right, Notch will go and
takes this ale and goes and sits over at this table over here.
Notch will just kind of walk up to the bar, grab an ale, and then he will turn. Does he see the man that he identified at the funeral?
Yeah, I think this guy will come in. He's gonna kind of come in after you.
He does look shady. It's my kind of guy.
He kind of comes up, sits down next to you, and orders. He does order a mead.
Okay.
Yeah. Glarosh kind of sits like a bit far away from him as well, just kind of, you know, just enough to keep an ear out, just a bit, but also is indulging.
Okay.
So Notch has ordered the weakest ale they have, and he's just sipping it, and he's going to have a conversation with this guy which is just mundane crap, like talking about how cold it is and how shit the journey was, and his feet are frozen from it, and all that kind of stuff. And he's, looking forward to trying some of the mead and all that kind of stuff. But throughout the conversation, he's just dropping bits of thieves' cant to indicate essentially that he's interested in buying some things. And then he's going to ask if this guy knows where anyone could get midnight tears.
He initially is replying in a similar fashion, and saying, he seems to. You get the impression from him that he might be able to help you out with some things. When you ask about the midnight tears, he kind of maybe he just speaks more directly under his breath after, this bartender sort of moves over here a little bit. He's like, what would you want with something like that? It's illegal in these parts.
Acquiring for a buyer. Legality doesn't typically concern the likes of us.
Maybe when he said it's illegal in these parts, he sort of winked a little bit. But he says, it's also very hard to come by. I had heard that there was perhaps some such poison being transported somewhere recently. It's interesting that you ask that question. But I don't know if I can acquire some. I don't have access to midnight tears myself. You might find that quite difficult to purchase around here.
Maybe he indicates that he's also just a middleman, like he's just trying to acquire for someone else. It's not for him, and wants to know if he knows who he would talk to, who would have that sort of stuff.
He says, he kind of looks over his shoulder at Brakior. He just kind of glances over at him, and he looks back at you and he says, I don't know if I can inquire around for you, but I don't know if I can really tell you who might be able to get some of that. Yeah, that's probably not something I should talk about.
Can I slip him a gold coin and see if that helps? I'll sleight of hand it if you need it.
No, that's right. He kind of puts his hand down, like whacks it on the bar, like. Doo. He's like, He kind of grins at you. He's got like a couple of missing teeth, maybe one gold tooth. He's like, yeah, that ain't gonna cut it.
I'll use the thieves' cant to basically ask him what the price is for the information.
Give me an insight check. He reiterates that it would be very difficult to get. He looks over at Brakior again.
Oh, come on, man. 11.
Yeah, you find him kind of hard to read. Maybe he's as skilled in the thieving arts and of deception as you are. But he says, let's just say, those who do a lot of traveling might come by such things as midnight tears, but I cannot say more. I don't really have access to it. What do you want it for, anyway?
The gentleman never tells. So he says, maybe he implies that he's in town. Again, just using thieves' cant. He's in town just doing some bodyguard work for another client. But while he's here, he's trying to do this. He's trying to distance Brakior and what's their surname?
Androma.
Just distancing them from it, trying to imply that
he's
doing work for...
Do you mean Andelka?
Andelka, yeah. So he's implying that he's doing some bodyguard work for the family, but he's also on the side trying to find this for another client. Just sort of trying to distance them from it a bit. See if that helps.
He looks over at Brakior again and he says, you should ask your boss. And with that, he gets up and he kind of like flicks this coin. So it like spins as he like walks away.
I catch it with the point of a dagger.
So edgy.
Was that my coin?
Yeah, it was your coin. He doesn't accept your coin.
Oh, I'll add it back to my character sheet then.
Can I ask Brakior whether there's an antidote?
He says, how much did you say you consumed? Only a tiny amount? I don't really know exactly if that would be enough to do any damage.
What if it isn't?
He says, I'm sorry, I've never seen it actually being used before.
Can I insight check that?
What are you looking for in his
whether
face?
He has seen it, like on his face. Whether, kind of he looks, I guess, does he directly say it or does he look away or that sort of thing? Like,
I'll say without an insight check that you don't think he seems like he's being genuine. You've seen him hiding something. This he doesn't seem like he's hiding.
okay.
I'm going to ask the barkeep what Brakior's favourite ale is. And I'm going to order a mug of that. And I want 2 shots of some kind of clear spirit to go with it.
All right.
And then I'm going to tip him well with a wink. And then I'll sleight of hand the 2 shots into this mug and carry it over to Brakior.
You're gonna try to get Brakior drunk.
Yeah. And I'll hand it to him and say, toast to our employer. Cheers. And
Maybe he like downs the mug that he's already got and takes this mug from you.
then I'll wait and see if we get some effect and then maybe start asking some questions.
Glarosh looked over at that and said, "Oh, I'll try that too." and orders puts the 2 shots in his own mug and is like,
So 2 shots in a mug of beer. I feel like you would notice that.
We'll see.
Especially if it's his favorite beer. Okay, I'm gonna make a check. I'm gonna make a check for Brakior to see if he notices that. Oh, bear with me.
ale check?
An ale check. I don't know where is. Sorry. Something is a bit different and I don't know how to access the skills. Oh, weird. Okay. I will just give him I'm just going to give him a perception check.
Ooh.
I think he's going to notice it. I think I would notice 2 shots in a beer. He notices it as he like lifts it to his lips. What is this? This smells very strong, my friend.
I asked the barkeep what your drink was. I have no idea what it is.
Give me a deception check.
Deception.
No idea at all.
Oh, I am not charismatic. Oh, yeah.
All right. Let me come back to the result of your deception check in a moment. Is anyone else doing anything in the bar?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm at the bar, but Vakos, Mariachi, will start. He'll like to roam the room with his lute out. He didn't notice any musical. There's no, he's the only musician in the room, so he's pulled out his lute and he's just playing a subtle, fleeting chords on his guitar, walking around the room.
There's a stage.
Lady,
take the stage.
But he's here as a bodyguard, so he's roaming the room and he's sussing out the crowds, and he's like, and as he's walking around, he's sort of like just observing what everyone's up to. He's looking for anything unusual that might be untowards Brakior at the moment. If anyone's sort of tense and ready to act upon their action, so he'll be like roaming around playing a subtle lute, milady.
All right. Also, a ale would cost probably 4 copper pieces, and maybe the shots probably something similar. Just so you know.
All right.
Yeah, I've probably spent a full gold at this point.
All right. Vakos.
He might accept any tips as well. He might pull out his hat and just like strum a little tune and continue to walk around the room.
Give me a performance check.
Okay, cool. Because it's a wake, he doesn't want to get too over the top. He just wants to keep it subtle. Oh, come on.
6.
He's still warming up his fingers.
One drunken lady gives you 3 copper pieces.
I thought you were going to say gives you a slap on the ass.
Nope, just the 3 copper pieces.
Okay,
Not even a slap on the ass. Not for a 6. Maybe she even it's like she seems to be giving it to you out of pity. Maybe your lute is because you are obviously an accomplished musician. Maybe your lute has been the strings have been a bit warped by the cold.
I think so.
And your fingers are like cold. But you let me see. I mean, if you're just kind of listening to people, you can hear some people talking about zombie sightings. It's something you notice as you walk through this crowd a couple of times. People kind of whispering among themselves. One person you hear talking about how they saw a walking skeleton, and the other person is telling them they must have just been drunk. You hear that Mikael, the Andelka's son who has died, he was considered a formidable businessman, but also he was almost certainly a criminal. But you think most of the townspeople respected him. He was like seen as like one of the people. You can kind of hear them sort of talking about this amongst themselves. He chose to continue living among them despite his wealth. And he often like contributed to town projects and things. And you hear people talking about Brakior as well, just about how somber and humorless he is. Some people sound, maybe you just hear one conversation, people just saying like, there he is again, that mopey bastard. You know, like, he doesn't know how good he's got it. He's probably going to inherit at least half of those diamonds. You just hear that as you walk by. And maybe you hear somebody else talking about how the brothers, the twins, Haktar and Brakior, and they are hostile to one another. They rarely speak. And you overhear somebody saying like, Haktar, I've heard, often denies that he even has a brother. What's anyone else doing?
So Teddy is gonna look for kind of the person in the room that probably has the most authority, maybe bar Brakior, besides Brakior.
Someone with
Who
authority.
looks wealthy and someone who looks like wealthy or with authority. Is there someone that stands out or not particularly?
Maybe you see this lady here.
So I'm gonna walk over to this lady, and I'm kind of rehearsing underneath my breath as I walk over, and then I take a deep breath and I say, "Oh, how about these glaciers recently?"
She says,
Oh. Yes, glaciers, yes. The weather, I see.
Did you know that landslides are in the top 5 of the most delayed, one of the highest reasons that merchants get delayed these days? I think it's in the top 5 landslides.
Oh, really? Yes.
Oh yes, really. If only there was something we could do about it. Perhaps I would like to introduce myself. Teddy Broomsticks, at your service.
she kind of gives you a wet fish hand.
Joycey is my name.
Joycey, would you be interested in some geotechnical consultancy?
Oh, rather not, actually.
I get that a lot. Oh, that's okay. Well, if you know anyone who might be interested, perhaps a council member who's looking to improve the local roads, I'm just sitting over here with my friend Brakior.
She says,
Oh, well, actually, we're sort of leaderless at the moment. Speaker Kendrick Rylesbarrow died recently, and the town has not elected a new speaker yet.
What was that name, sorry?
Kendrick Rylesbarrow.
Kendrick Rylesbarrow. And that used to be your the leader of this town.
Yes, the speaker.
The speaker.
Yes.
Did they die at night, perchance?
No, I believe it was some kind of hunting accident or something.
A hunting accident. Oh, and how long ago was this?
Only a week or so ago. I don't really know.
Okay.
But the town leadership has kind of defaulted to Haktar in the meantime until we elect a new speaker.
And just between you and me, how does Brakior feel about this kind of default leadership going to his brother?
Oh, well, I don't know him well, but he, his their relationship is quite difficult. I pity him.
Yes, I've got an interesting brother myself, so I'm familiar with how that can be strenuous.
Yes.
Yes, it is a pity. It is a pity, rather. Sorry, I'm putting on your accent. I don't have a British accent. Sorry, I'm a bit. Oh dear. I get nervous when I introduce my geotechnical consultancies to people.
A what accent?
Oh, I'm just going to excuse myself.
Glarosh comes over and is like, "You're boring the poor woman to death," and he's gonna grab you by the head. Come drink.
Oh no.
Come drink with me. Yes.
I take that as my leave. Yeah.
And Glarosh is pretty much a butthole barrel and just chugs it through the night.
all right. All right. Well, Notch, you made a 17 on your deception check.
Sure did.
Brakior kind of puts his finger in this drink, swirls it around a little bit, sniffs it. He turns over to this halfling bartender and just kind of nods and says cheers, like he thinks this guy has given him a strong drink because it's his father's funeral. And he begins to drink from this strong drink.
I think I'll or wait for it to take some effect. But in the meantime, Notch just re-engages on the questions of, we need to know information. If we're to protect you, what do we need to know?
Haktar won't tell you anything else. Yeah, he's not willing to say more.
Okay, then he's going to bring up the Midnight Tears again. He's going to say, Midnight Tears, you seem to know what they are. You knew Jorgen.
He just won't say anything more. Nothing you try, he just says, listen, I told you I do not wish to speak of it anymore. Look, at the end of all of this, when today is over, perhaps I'll let you know. Just, let's just sit through the speeches that are sure to come soon. Enjoy your drink, and you'll get your gold at the end of the day. I'm sorry, I do not wish to speak of it further.
Okay. Maybe Notch leaves it with, it's hard to get gold from a dead man. If we can't protect you, there is no gold.
Ooh.
Alright.
Is there anyone eyeing him? From the crowd? Got him, scoped, I guess?
There's probably a few people looking over at him. He's quite a presence in this mead hall. Looking over at all of you as well. It's not that big of a place and you're all strangers. Give me an insight check.
Sorry, my thing went.
I don't know if it's possible. Can I assist Vakos? Since I'm actually working the room and trying to...
Assist who?
Ivanna.
Oh, probably not with an insight check. I mean, yeah, you can give me an insight check as well, though.
Okay.
I don't think I asked you for one before.
Oh, yeah, that was just a performance. I wasn't there.
I think, both of you notice that people are sort of whispering, talking amongst themselves. Several of them kind of look over at Brakior. It seems like there's a lot of gossip to be had in the room, but nobody in particular looks like they pose any kind of threat or anything like that. There are some shady characters moving about. But you don't see any signs of any particular movement, any particular kind of immediate threat.
Still lay off the drink. Got a job to do.
All right. So I'll say that while you're kind of keeping an eye out for things and looking around, all of a sudden, this door to the right over here. See if I can... This door bursts open. And you hear first and then see this man enter the room. And he is flanked by these two burly-looking thugs. Kind of follow him into the room. And this guy is tall, pretty overweight, but muscular. And he has short, dark hair. And he comes around this corner with these thugs, and he looks furious. He's just got this look of absolute fury on his face, and he just storms directly over to Brakior before anyone can do anything about it. And Brakior turns to him and says, and he's halfway saying Haktar, and he's cut off as this this big guy like storms over, and as Brakior's kind of half standing in his seat, this guy like grabs him by the collar and like kind of lifts him up off this chair and kind of stands him in front of him, and he starts yelling at him and accusing Brakior of killing Mikael, their father. He's like, "You always hated us. I know it was you. You want the company. You want the diamonds. You might as well admit it. Your man told us everything." And Brakior is kind of looking very awkward and sort of shifting and shuffling around and trying to like get out of his brother's hold. You can tell this is his brother now, and their likeness is quite striking, especially in the face. And Haktar kind of claims that his warriors, "My warriors captured your assassin during the funeral service. He confessed that he and Jorgen were hired by you to kill Haktar. Sorry, to kill me and our father." And Haktar is full of rage. He says, "You'll pay for what you've done. Seize him!" And he orders these thugs to seize Brakior. And Brakior stands to his feet and manages to like pull out of Haktar's grasp and like back up a little bit. And he like turns to you and he's like, "I'm innocent. Quick, do what I'm paying you to do and protect me." And he sort of backs up. And as he says this, these thugs like turn their eyes to you, and they draw these like large spiked maces. And this one over here, assuming that you are allied with Brakior, he moves over towards you, Notch. He begins moving in your direction with this big club. What do you do?
Notch kind of sighs. He's like, "This is the information that would have been useful." Has a swig of his mug, puts it down, stands up, and he's like, "Well, job's a job." And he draws a short sword and a dagger.
Glarosh is gonna throw one of his mugs at this thug that's closest to him.
All right, if you're going to throw a mug at this guy, let's and Notch is like drawing his short sword. Let's roll for initiative, but let's actually take a 5-minute break and roll for initiative when we come back.
I thought you were going to say you're going to throw Teddy for a second.
I actually thought the same thing.
Honestly, I should have done that.
I thought the same thing.
By the head.
No, you don't want to include throwing other players. That's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the imp. Do you think it's okay to just assume he's invisible when we're in like crowded places, or do you want me to specify that each time?
Yeah, if you want to just assume that always he will go invisible in this sort of situation, that we can do that. The only thing is, if he's going to like fly around or move around, he'll need to make a stealth check to like see if he's actually able to maintain invisibility. Because especially if he's flapping around, I think he'll give his position away. Where do you think he is?
Is there like any chimneys or some like warm location?
Yeah, there would be like some smoke holes above these fire pits.
Yeah, well, let's put him in the fire pit because he's immune to fire damage, and he'll just be trying to get as comfy as possible. So yeah, he's just sitting on the coals, I think.
If he kind of comes in through the chimney and he's invisible, and everyone's kind of talking and stuff, I won't get him to make a check. That's fine. You can do that.
Cool.
All right. And also, Glarosh, you're like lobbing your mug at this guy. Do you want to do that just for theatrical purposes, or are you attempting to attack with it?
I mean, if I can get a cheeky surprise attack with it, I will. Yeah.
Give me a...
Surprise!
Give me a dex check. We'll do a dex contest.
Okay, this is my worst stat.
Oh man, this is... It's really weird on these sheets. Like, I don't know, something's changed and I don't know how to access their skills to actually use them.
That's a 4.
It's really weird. I don't know what the intended approach is supposed to be. That's a 4. Okay. Alright. We'll just proceed with normal initiative in that case. He maybe like glances over at you as like Brakior kind of says, you know, do what I'm paying you for, and sort of backs away. He kind of looks between all of you. This guy like follows his gaze and like sees you at the bar, and he's kind of ready. So we'll just do it on the regular initiative order.
All right.
Okay, Teddy, what do you do?
Okay. I just quickly. I think Ned has his own initiative.
Oh yes, I'll give Ned an initiative.
Thank you.
An initiative. He has the initiative.
Beautiful.
You should be able to roll it in there now.
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so Teddy is going to probably stay where he is and just look over to that kind of that grunt that is nearest to Glarosh and himself. Yeah, not going to get too close in the action, and is just going to shoot a little Eldritch Blast at the nearest grunt, and it's going to come up like kind of like a hot, like flaming zap, almost like fiery kind of electrocution going over. So I suppose I roll for that.
All right. Yep.
Bear with me.
Yeah. So in the spells tab.
Yes. And then
Eldritch Blast. Yep, that's it.
And then. Yep.
And then in the chat feed. Yep, you got it.
Oh.
That misses. It just.
Okay.
He sort of just jumps forward a little bit. Like I said, he's like aware of you. And this, he's like,
I'd kind of just point to Glarosh, kind of say it was him.
Just gives you the biggest side eye.
Yeah.
He just like frowns and goes like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not going to move. I think that's just my little turn there. So end turn.
All right. Okay, this guy is going to come over here towards Brakior, and Brakior is going to sort of slip out of his grasp. This guy tries to kind of like give Brakior a bear hug. Brakior sort of like ducks and like runs over to here. Maybe he jumps up on this table. He runs over here, he like kicks these plates away and sort of runs in this direction. And as this happens, these people are like, they kind of get up and like, they back away. They realize that something's going down. And all of these people sort of get out of the way. And this thug is going to reach to about here. Okay, Ned.
Okay, Ned. Okay, good old Ned. Where is Ned? I can't find him on the map.
He's invisible.
Oh, he's in. Oh, great. Great, he's right in the middle there. Okay, so Ned unfortunately can't attack on his turn because he's a familiar. But what Ned will do is just kind of invisibly, perhaps sneak. So hang on, I got to check for movement, right? So Ned can move. Fly of 8, so 8 meters. Ned can fly. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so 5, 8, perfect. So Ned's gonna kind of go that direction. Would you like me to make a stealth check?
If he's
because Ned's maintaining invisibility there.
Yeah, I will say that he's invisible, but if he's going to flap around there, this guy will immediately become aware of it. So this guy knows where he is because he's just.
Yeah,
he's still invisible. So if you're.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll rock with that. So Ned's made a bit of a commotion, and Ned's going to just plant himself there. And I think that's all Ned can kind of do.
You can probably
without
lend
an attack.
You can probably lend the help action if you want to do that.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Okay, so distracting this Ned's going to help Ivanna, who's nearby.
Okay.
Great.
All right, Notch. This guy is advancing on you with this big spiked club, this mace.
This top guy?
Yeah. This guy.
Okay. But this other guy didn't swing a club at, what's his name? Brakior, did he?
Maybe after he tried to bear hug him, he then pulled out also a mace.
Okay.
Kind of like looking around the room as well, looking at Ivanna, he's like, you know. And also just like flapping
sound. No one's actually swung a
sound.
weapon yet though, have they?
No. Not yet.
Alright, well then I think Notch is probably he's going to run down here.
Alright.
He's just going to jump up on top of the table. He's turning his face in this guy. And just with dagger and short sword in hand, in like a crouched position, he just says, "It's not worth your life, friend." And he's just putting himself between the attackers and their employer. And he will probably regret that when this guy comes and swings a club at him anyway.
The only thing is, it'll be difficult terrain to jump up on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I like what... Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4,
it's
5.
It's exactly 6 to get there.
Yeah, maybe if you move him there, then he can do that.
Here?
Yeah. Is it 6?
Yep.
I think 1, 2,
6
3,
is where he
4,
was.
5. Yeah, but it'll be difficult terrain, I think, to jump up on the table.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yep.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check.
Intimidation. Oh, that is not something I have. Oh, that'll 16.
Okay. All right. Okay, Haktar is going to back up a little bit. He's not holding a weapon. And he's just like, seize them! And just kind of stands over here. Maybe he kind of like backs up into this woman. She's like, ow! She sort of scurries over here.
How dare you?
Vakos.
Vakos will also like to follow Notch's. He's in. Oh, jeez, I'm not going behind the bar.
Straight
I
for
don't know
the
how he
beers.
ended up there. Straight for the barrels.
Protect the ale.
I've moved all my movement. I don't even know how that happened.
Oh, you can actually, I've learned, reset your movement. Let me just do that for you.
You just Control Z it, I think.
Ah. Oh, but but if you do that, will it undo the memory? Because you know how
Whatever
it like
your last
remembers your
move was, I
truck?
think. Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
So then you end up with this like line all over the place. Anyway, I've reset it for you. Wait, hold on. I will reset it for you again.
I only just want to move up on the on top of the table as well.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, Kataran, who's with his loot, and he'll like to actually use vicious mockery on the other bullfed, and that's his mockery.
Just calling him a bullfed?
Calling him a bullfed.
All right. Laced with subtle magic. He like flinches as this single word of bullfed kind of reverberates in his brain. Like, give me the damage.
Used to call me bullfed.
All right, 5 psychic. 5 psychic.
Correct.
Mockery
Yeah.
went up to D6.
And disadvantage
Oh
on
yeah,
his.
did it?
Yeah, it went from
What was it before? D4.
D4. Yeah.
And disadvantage on his next attack.
All right, he's been viciously mocked. Maybe in that moment a tear rolls down one eye. Okay, he is going to... Because of that, I think he sort of turns in your direction. And he sees Glarosh like holding this mug as well. And like Teddy has like tried to fire at him with this fiery bolt. He's just like, "Argh!" And he like runs over to here, and he's going to attack you with this mace. He will. Yeah. If you attack him, I'll give you a +1 because you're elevated. But I think I'll do a regular attack for him. 23 looks like it hits. He just like runs over here and just like whacks you in the knee. For 7 bludgeoning damage.
That was my good knee.
And now he's gonna go for your other knee.
Oh, jeez, another attack.
That one misses. How do you prevent yourself being hit by that one?
As he's holding his sword, he jumps up in pain. And he dodges the attack on that one, the other one.
All right, Glarosh. You can continue to lob this mug, or at this point you can, see that people have moved a little bit quicker than you, and you can change your.
Yeah, I just
action.
want to check a range. Let me just do. Oh. So I got to do the conversion here. So.
Just tell me what it is if you want. What are you trying to check?
30 foot.
30 foot. You can still just count like the same way that you usually would. It'll still give you the same.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'll need to delete the wall.
But that's 6 though. 6 meters. 6 squares.
6 meters. Okay. So no point in doing what I was thinking. So I'm just like, well, he's brought the weapons out, so no longer time to play around. I just, instead of throwing it, I go to drink from it, and then I throw it to the ground and take out my halberd.
All right.
Then I'm like, no more playing around. I was just trying to enjoy my drink. And I'm gonna go for a attack on this guy.
Okay.
Adrian, just a quick.
Yep.
I didn't realize when the bullfed attacked myself the first time, he actually had disadvantage on his attack.
You're right. You're right.
Just because we're just level 1 and 7
No,
points
of
of
course.
damage is quite a lot.
No, of course.
And that was his good knee.
No. of course.
Hang on. Are we doing flanking?
Yes. Let me roll again for the knee. 18 still hits. Damn
Still
it.
hits. Oh, no
Sorry.
worries.
All right.
Does 11 hit?
11. Does 11? Yes, 11 hits.
All right. It's 8 slashing damage.
With the halberd. All right. You just like carve this halberd into his exposed back. Just he kind of sees you coming and tries to like dodge out of the way, but you just like dig it into his arm. He's just as all this blood comes gushing down his back.
Why don't you fight someone your own size?
All right.
That's it. Yes.
And Ivanna.
I'll move up to old mate here, and I will booming blade.
All right. And you can attack with advantage because he's distracted
Okay.
by this flapping sound.
Where is
Leathery
the-
wings beating on his face.
movement? Okay, I have to hit first, so it doesn't work like that. But there we go. Sorry.
And so level 1, it won't do anything extra on the
No,
initial.
unless he moves. Yeah.
Okay.
I just hit, and I actually have to hit him. Sorry, I'm trying to find my. There we go.
You just do a weapon attack.
Oh, sorry, it was advantage.
Nice, that hits.
Okay.
You can crit fish if you want to roll again.
Oh, I've got Savage Attacker. I'll try.
What does Savage Attacker do again?
I can roll the damage twice.
Don't roll the die for Booming Blade. Roll the damage die for your longsword.
Oh yeah, so the Booming Blade damage will be if he moves.
Yeah. Sorry, it just popped up with that.
That's alright. I was just trying to remember what Savage Attacker does. Once per turn, when you hit a target with a weapon, you can roll the weapon's damage dice twice and use either roll against the target.
Twice.
Alright. So you can just do it.
No, one more. There we go. I'll take that one.
Nice. Okay. He also hears you coming and tries to jump out of the way, but you're able to sort of get him in the ribs from behind. He like turns around and like tries to reach down and like knock this sword out with his mace. Teddy.
Okay, so Teddy might just like jump up onto the bar. Would that be doable for a gnome, or just with his movement? Up to your discretion. That one doesn't really matter.
Give me an athletics check.
Sure. Okay. Athletics. Here we go.
I'll make it pretty low. He's like a athletic sort of dude, I guess. 12. Yeah, that's all right. He can sort of like hoist himself up there on this.
Sure, yeah. Bar. So I can use all my movement to just kind of climb on top of that, and then with my action, I'm just going to yell over, "Go for the head, Ned!" And I'm going to forfeit my action such that Ned can use his attack as a reaction.
Okay. Sweet.
So Ned is going to use his sting attack now on the guy right in front of him.
And you can attack with advantage because you're invisible.
Ah, fantastic. Okay.
But I think probably, unless things have changed, you will become visible when that happens.
That's okay. I can become visible.
Yeah, because it's just the invisibility spell.
Okay, did that work?
That definitely hits.
Okay, great. And now to roll the damage. So how do I roll the damage for that now?
Scroll back up in the chat feed to where it first printed the sting box, and then there's a damage button there.
Damage. Okay, thank you. So we're going to roll for a sting. I want Ned's stings. Pretty good.
And is this his tail?
I suppose. I suppose he's got a tail.
All right.
There we go.
Guy's been like stabbed from behind by Ivanna. He turns around to try to like smack this sword out of the way with his mace, and then just gets this like stinger to the back of the neck. He just like throws his arms up.
Good job, Ned. Way to go, Ned. Okay, that's Teddy's turn.
All right. He is going to. Okay. He is going to turn around in response to this and try to whack at this imp with his mace. Whoop, hold on. I think I rolled at disadvantage. All right. 19 looks like it hits.
Yep.
He will do 6 bludgeoning damage. How's Ned looking?
Okay.
Oh, he's good.
Ned's pretty tanky.
Yeah. All right. He's going to follow up with the second one there.
Yeah.
That one hits as well.
Okay. Oh, Ned.
He's just like lashing out at it in the air. Just hits it a couple of times.
Okay. That's a lot.
Oh yeah. So to take the damage, you can either with the token selected, you can just click apply. Or you can right-click on the token, and it'll bring up this information HUD, or whatever you would call it. You can click on the 21 and type...
Yep.
Either you can type what the new hit points are, or you can do like -3, enter, and it'll do simple maths for you.
Oh, that's nice. And then -13. Okay, and yeah, Ned's Ned probably doesn't take another hit, but yeah, he's okay for now.
All right. Okay. What does he do though?
Oh, okay. So Ned's probably. Oh, hang on. No, Ned's probably just gonna stay where he is, and he's gonna help Notch this time around, and that can be Ned's turn.
Okay. So I think with this type of help action, you don't really need to specify who it's for. If you're just sort of distracting this guy, he's just distracted in general.
Oh, is it help on the enemy, not on a particular person?
In combat, I would usually do it that way.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah.
At least that's how I've always been doing it. I hope maybe it's wrong.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. So we'll just be helping out on this grunt here.
Okay. All right, Notch, you're up on the table.
Yeah, well, now that weapons are out and friends are getting attacked, he's going to jump down to here, and he's going to have 2 swipes of this guy. I just want to confirm with you my read on... So he's got weapon masteries on both his short sword and his dagger.
Okay.
The short sword gives him Vex, which gives advantage on the next attack roll. And then the dagger gives Nick, which means that he can do, you do the 2 weapon thing using light weapons. He can do both of them as the single attack action. So I just want to confirm, if I short sword, I get the sneak attack. If it hits, it gives advantage, which then gives him sneak attack on the dagger as well. That's how I read it.
Can you use sneak attack twice, though, in one turn?
Not normally, but it's if you've got advantage. Otherwise, does the advantage go to his next turn? It gives him advantage until the end of his next round. It says for the next attack.
Yeah, 2 lots of advantage would cancel each other out if that's what you mean. But I'm just not sure that actually sneak attack itself... What's the wording of sneak attack? Where is it?
Let's have a look.
Sneak attack... once per turn. You can only do it once per turn.
Okay, right.
So you can have sneak attack on the first attack or the second attack.
Yeah. But so if he swings with the short sword,
he'll have advantage.
He has a sneak attack on that. And
Okay.
if that hits, it gives him advantage on the dagger. So okay, that works.
Sounds good. And you can add +2 to both attacks because this guy's flanked.
Sweet.
Or +1 to each attack.
All right. So, sorry. So I've got advantage on the short sword.
Yep. Advantage and +1.
Oof, I needed it. 10.
Did that include the +1? No, 3 +2 would be your strength and your proficiency.
No.
Okay, that hits.
That hits.
Yep.
Okay, good.
He's rather exposed in his overalls.
Is there an easy way to add sneak?
I think you should be able to just use it as a separate thing. Yeah, if you just click...
there should just be a button.
Yeah, if you just, like, when you do the attack first, do the damage first, and then just do the sneak damage.
Then do the
separately.
sneak attack?
Yep. 6. Ooh, okay. He's not quite dead, but describe this. Oh, hold on. What in the world?
I've still got a dagger, if you want me to do that.
You can do another attack?
Yeah, with
so
the
you're
dagger.
saying that counts as one attack because of that?
Yeah, because of the dagger's nick trait, I can use it in the same attack action to do the 2-weapon light thing. Normally it wouldn't get my proficiency bonus though.
Okay. Yeah, this guy is now just being like shanked by you, and he's already looking pretty stressed out. There's blood coming out of his back, and this imp has stabbed him. He is like almost keeling over and sort of like struggling to like hold himself up. Maybe he even drops the mace on the ground. It's like, ugh.
Okay. In that case, I'll forgo the dagger attack, and instead I'll just hold the dagger up, maybe to his throat or something, and just say yield. It's not worth your life.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check again. Okay. All right. Haktar he steps over to here, and he's like, actually like looking a little bit nervous. Maybe he kind of like backs up into this table over here. Sorry, into this this stage, and he's looking over at the door anxiously, and like kind of mutters something to himself. Vakos.
Vakos would like to disengage
All right.
from buffet number 1 and go, you really are buffet. Disengage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and bonus action, give Glarosh bardic inspiration.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Time to bring the boom.
All right.
I just have to find on my sheet.
Okay, this guy is going to turn around and attack Glarosh with his mace.
Come for me.
17 hits.
Ooh.
7 bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
You're wearing chainmail. Are you wearing a helm or anything?
I have my horns.
Maybe he just like whacks you in the chest. It's just like it just knocks the wind out of you. And he will follow up with a second attack.
Oh, he's got 2.
That one misses.
Okay.
Okay, Glarosh, what do you do?
I shout back. Call up your goons, I'll have 3 more funerals today. And then after I say that to him, I'm gonna go for another attack on this guy.
All right. Nice.
That's a crit. I'd love to see it. Damage, crit. Alright. Whew, 18 slash.
Wow.
Call off your goons and then obliterates one of them.
Yeah, you just like smash him. He like tries to like block your halberd with his mace, but your halberd just kind of like gets him in the head, like just leaves this massive gash down his face as he's trying to block it, and he just like falls backwards into this table, kind of turns around, like stables himself, knocks off this like mug and this staff. He's not quite dead, but this blood is like trickling into his eyes. He's kind of like shaking his head, dazed.
I look back like, well, what do you say? Well, and I'll end my turn there.
Okay, Ivanna.
So this guy is like virtually dead, and the other guy's virtually dead.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for you to see this other guy, but based on what Glarosh said, you feel pretty encouraged. And yeah, you can see this guy is not looking good at all, the one that's in front of you.
Does it look like there's any fight left?
Very little, with Notch holding this knife to his throat.
I'll just, I guess, hold a booming blade. Well, maybe not a booming blade because he moves, but just a regular sword attack in case this guy tries to kill one of us.
All right.
But I'm not going to attack now. I'll just hold it.
Okay. At the top of the round, before Teddy's turn, you hear this trudging in the snow from outside, and more individuals barge through this door. And Haktar kind of turns over to these individuals and says, "Finally! These people..." Let me see. Another couple of these like burly looking shady types barge in. And there is also an older looking warrior with like a big horned helm, this big white beard. He comes in here and he is wielding a long sword and a short sword, dressed in like furs and this like worn leather armor. He looks like some kind of veteran warrior. And they come storming in here, and then behind them storms this enormous Goliath. All of you would know what a Goliath is.
Jenko?
Just this, like, probably like 7 or 8 foot tall humanoid with grey skin and black strikes tapering and these like glowing blue eyes. And he is wielding this great axe. He comes like storming in through this door as well. And Haktar kind of turns to them. His expression sort of resolves in conviction. He's been looking a little bit concerned. He says, "Bar the doors! I want them alive!" And I'll put them in the initiative order.
Does he have billowing hair? That came through the door?
No, he's bald.
Just that's bald.
He's obviously
Leopard print
bald.
singlet.
We can see that, but not everyone can see that. But just make it sure.
Maybe he looks like a distant cousin or something.
Okay.
But he didn't get the very rare hair Goliath gene. All right, Teddy.
Oh man, okay. Well, Teddy's not comfortable being at the top of the initiative order. Geez, all right. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and perhaps going to maybe shrink back a few meters when he sees these people come in, and then do the same thing as last time. Just say, "Don't stop till he's dead, Ned."
Oh, he froze.
We lost him.
Froze in the frozen cold of the frozen north. Oh, there you go.
he's back.
Nick, you froze for a moment. I'm not sure what you said at the end there. But maybe,
sorry. Okay, so
is Ned doing something?
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
Ned is going to sting because I think this combat is going to. Oh, geez, yeah. I don't like being first because I'm not sure what we're doing. I'm just gonna back myself. Yeah, Ned's gonna attack.
You can delay your turn if you want, or you can hold. You can hold an action.
There's just so many more reinforcements. I'm a bit worried. Are you allowed to talk as a free action? Can I?
Yeah, you can talk on your turn. Yeah, definitely.
But you can't. Can you get responses or no?
No, not until other people's turns.
Yeah. All right. Oh, jeez. Okay. Actually, what I'll do is I'm just going to Eldritch Blast one of the new guys. That way, we don't kill anyone if we don't want to kill somebody. So we'll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to Eldritch Blast this guy.
Are you just targeting this thug at the front?
Yeah, just one of the new thugs, just the one nearest to me that's come in.
Okay, that one hits.
Okay, and then gonna roll for that. The damage.
All right.
Okay, so 2. Is it +1 because I have the rod of the Pact Keeper, the staff?
Oh yeah, that would do +1 on the attack and the damage. Yeah, I think
Damage.
so.
So that's 3 damage. Yeah, and it was just this guy here. Yeah, great.
Why do I keep
And
getting
can I
this?
say for my free action, like what are we killing these people? I guess is what I say. And yeah, I'll end my turn there.
Just to clarify, Rod of the Pact Keep only does spell attack rolls and saving throws, not damage.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's Teddy's turn. Oh, jeez. Okay.
All right, this guy comes bursting in, and Haktar says again, "Remember, take them alive for questioning." This old veteran is just going to run up to Glarosh, and he is going to He's going to try to grab you. Give me
nice. Good try. Let's see.
Give me an athletics check or an acrobatics check. Ooh.
I know which one I'm better at. I wasn't a great roll, but it's still better.
All right. He just sort of... What was he carrying again? Oh, he's carrying this long sword and short sword. Maybe he kind of sheathes his short sword and just tries to like put his arm around your neck. And you're able to throw him off.
I've got a large neck.
Okay, this guy is... I can't remember the intimidation check, but I feel like I was thinking that he was successfully intimidated. He is going to drop... No, he's already dropped his club. He basically takes a knee and sort of looks across it. No, Notch like pretty tall. This guy's also massive. From the knee, he kind of like looks up slightly at Notch and just kind of raises his hand. He's dropped... He doesn't want any more. Surrendering. Okay. This guy in here is going to run into here. And he's going to attempt to grab you as well, but he's just going to do it in the form of using the help action, essentially.
Okay. This is going to help out the old timer.
And he's just like, drop your weapons. Okay, this big Goliath... He is going to come in to here. He's going to dash. He dashes over to here. Oh, and this guy also is going to come in. Okay, he's going to try to grab you now. So give me an athletics check as this thug also tries to give you a bear hug.
Yes, more the better.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna beat that. Wait, hold on. I don't think I rolled with advantage though. Just give me another one. Okay. None of them are able to grab you. And you no longer got the help action on you.
He's very girthy.
Yeah, they're like struggling to like wrap their arms around you. Okay, Ned, need broomsticks.
Okay, so I think what Ned Broomsticks is going to do is use his action to go invisible again. So I'm going to use invisibility.
All right.
Let's do that. And then is going to go back to the fire pit and effectively try and remove himself from perhaps this potential capture. Would I have to make a is there like an opportunity attack, or because I'm invisible it's okay?
Yeah, because you're invisible you're fine, but also this guy has like dropped his weapon. He doesn't look like a threat anyway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Are you trying to hide in the fire?
Yeah, hide. So invisible in the fire, trying to hide.
Give me a stealth check to see if you can sort of. I mean, the thing is, like, everyone is able to kind of watch it. Well, they can hear him like fly into the flames. I think also flapping into the flames, the fire is going to kind of. Give me a stealth check anyway. We'll see if you can sort of. There's a lot of eyes darting around the room in a lot of places.
That's all right. Ned can't do that, I don't think, because he is a creature. You should still be able to do a stealth check if you look on the left-hand side. Although you'll notice this is the problem that I've been having, is that it only shows your deception, insight, and stealth. I guess because they're the ones you're proficient with. I don't know how to... But yeah, if you click the stealth, it'll let you do a stealth check at least. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, let's do stealth then. But yeah, it's really weird. Like, I don't know how to do anything else. Yeah, exactly. Okay, 15. Okay, 15. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Sure. So that will be Ned's turn. Okay, Varrik.
So I think Varrik, now that he sees all these others, is kind of like, well, there goes that plan. And he will... Can I just... Like if he were to just like use the butt of his short sword, can he do like non-lethal damage to this guy and just try and knock him out?
Yeah, you can do that. He's no longer flanked.
Ugh.
Yeah, that you hit him in the head, but it just still doesn't knock him out. He's just like, ugh, why?
Okay, well, I'll do the dagger as well. Same kind of thing, just like with the hilt of the dagger in his hand to sort of do a solid punch to his temple.
Okay. Yep, that'll do it.
Now, I just reread the rules for the light thing. What it doesn't give me is the dex bonus to the damage.
Okay.
So it'll just be the straight.
That's alright, he was on 1 hit point. He's down.
Okay, cool.
You knock him out, he just...
Alright, so that's the one attack action. You can't draw and put something away and draw in the same move, can you?
Wait, so it was the one attack action because you can use the dagger as part of your... Yeah,
because of the daggers thing, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. You can, as part of that attack action, you can stow something, and you can also draw something different as part of that attack action.
I can? Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll stow... which one? He'll stow the dagger and draw his little light crossbow, and he's just going to move...
The only thing is you have to do it as part of an attack.
Oh dear. Okay, he'll just leave the swords out. And just holding the swords up, he's going to...
You can't go there because of this like pot plant. You'll have to sort of go around it.
Sorry, I was going
kind of like
just
knock into
5
it.
straight up and then 1 diagonally.
Oh yeah, sorry, that works. Yeah, that
forgot
works
the head control. And he's just going to kind of point the sword and the dagger at the brother. What's his name again?
Haktar.
Okay. And just say, call off your goons.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's Haktar's turn already. He just says, you call off your goons. You're surrounded. Drop your weapons and lie on the floor. You've been beat.
I'm not a goon.
Vakos.
That guy's a boof.
It's like a Mexican standoff without any Mexicans.
Also, this guy has got this like gnome on his face. He's like,
he's not Mexican. Vakos is going to make his way to the bar, put his loot over his back, sit down, and they'll just say, Teddy, I don't think we're going to walk out of this one. As his free action, can he just drink whatever ales on the bench?
Yeah.
Object interaction?
Yeah, he can do it.
Do that. And his bonus action, healing word on himself, and just wait to be taken in, I guess.
Okay.
20 gold. I don't know.
Oh, so he's like, he just kind of sits down and he's like,
He's sitting at the bar having a drink, waiting to be incarcerated. Yeah.
All right.
This guy's given brain damage.
Yeah, this guy is, he's not able to even try to grab you. He's just going to sort of wave his, I'm going to give him disadvantage. He tries to like fumble for his mace and just misses you completely. He's got blood in his eyes. Okay, Glarosh.
All right. I just want to check something here. Okay. Hanging out for no particular reason. Okay. I am going to... Oh, actually, let me check that again. I hate how Foundry does the measurement stuff. I was hypothetically to do that. Maybe. Okay. I'm just gonna fully just finish off. I'll finish off this guy here. Okay, it's like more the merrier. I'm just gonna attack.
This guy? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the really wounded guy.
That will hit.
Yeah. Damage.
Lethal damage?
lethal. He doesn't care about non-lethal at this point. He's surrounded, covered by enemies.
You execute him.
Like, well, that's one more funeral I had on the list.
He's just like, just coughs up all this blood and like falls down in front of this table and sort of like rolls over, slumped underneath and just.
Let's see if we can add a couple others. I'm gonna cleave. And I will cleave to the Goliath. And I say a little thing in giant because I speak giant, and I just say back off. I'm gonna cleave.
Okay. That misses.
I was gonna say you do have Varrik as a reminder.
Yes, I'll use the bardic on that.
All right.
Okay. What was that? Oh, actually, by the way, that's -2, by the way, so that should be 9, technically, but I'll still use the bardic on that.
Okay.
That's a d6, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So it would be 11.
11, yeah.
I'm going to use my inspiration on that.
Okay.
Let's get another roll out there. Actually did custom make a cleave attack. I just didn't use it.
That hits.
Okay. And then damage.
And so you don't add your modifier to the damage, is it? Or
yes,
I You've incorporated that. Sweet.
Yeah, I custom put that in, yeah.
All right.
And that's 9 to the Goliath, and I just say a bit of a like back off and giant at him, just to know I know what's up. And then I'm gonna bonus action second wind because I feel like I'm about to get clobbered. Now that they know I killed one of their guys.
All right.
That's the. Oh, wait, yeah. And I get 6 health back. And that's it.
All right. Ivanna.
Okay, I'm gonna move up to the veteran, and I'm going to Booming Blade.
And you can add +1 to your attack. He's flanked.
Two plus 1.
That hits.
Alrighty. And I'll savage attack on this turn.
Awesome. 11. And I'm definitely getting some weird bugs. Okay, Booming Blade. Alright. You just hit him with this longsword with this energy around it. He becomes wreathed in this like blue energy. It just kind of turns around. His beard like flying in the air. He's like, whoa! Swings
Kinda
around
like
with his...
sucks the air out a little bit. Like, got a bit of ozone kind of flavor.
It's like crackling in the air. Okay. Teddy.
Okay, so Teddy is going to take a leaf out of Vakos's book and is going to awkwardly kind of climb down from the bar and is going to give everybody his best performance check to pretend like he was never involved and is more of an innocent bystander in this fight. And is shocked at everything that's going on. So we'll just roll it and
give me a performance check just to see.
Yeah, let's just have a look at this performance, see how he goes. Performance. Let's do it. Okay. That will be that's Teddy's turn, I'm afraid.
I'll definitely say that he hasn't convinced anyone.
Glarosh is convinced.
Yay.
This guy wasn't part of our party at all.
All right, and also before this veteran's turn, some more warriors come storming in through this door here from the back. Couple more thugs and another couple of like older guys that look like they've grown up in the snow.
We can
Maybe
win
there's like
this.
an old man and also like an old lady, big muscular lady, also with a spiked hat. They come charging in here and they slam this door behind them as well. And I'll add them to the initiative. And Haktar cries out again, "Surrender, I tell you! Lie down your arms and get on the floor!" Okay. This old veteran is going to attack Glarosh. Longsword. He's going to attempt to like bash you in the head with the hilt of it. He'll have +1 on the attack. Oh no, sorry. You're flanked, he's flanked. So with flanking, my rule is that if you're flanked, you can't flank.
Alright.
Okay, he crits you.
Actually, he doesn't because I have adamantine armor.
Ah. Okay. What does that do?
That just means when I'm crit, I'm not crit.
Awesome. Okay. Regular damage. Okay. So 9, it'll be bludgeoning.
Still pretty painful. Really chipped my horn though.
He is going to try to hit you again with his longsword.
Okay.
Hits again.
Oof.
Also he's just trying to like bash at you with the hilt. So another 5 bludgeoning.
I'm down.
All right. And he will turn to Ivanna and try to like bludgeon you with the hilt of his short sword. And he's just like, "Give it up."
Gortash, no!
Okay. This guy, he's unconscious. Okay, this guy in here is going to run over to here and he's just going to basically grab Vakos. And
Just a
this
simple
guy,
man enjoying his drink at the bar.
this guy grabs you as well. Okay, this thug here is going to try to tackle Ivanna, but he's just going to basically give help action. And this guy's going to come running in. And where is everyone? He's going to dash over to here. Sort of put his hands on Teddy. Maybe like grab you by the ear.
Oh no! Oh, every time it's the ears.
Okay, this guy is going to come running in. Or this lady, I can't remember who was who. This Goliath is going to come over to here, and he's going to try to grapple Ivanna. So give me an athletics check. Oh, actually, the grapple rules have changed, haven't they? Oh god. It's like a save now or something. Let's worry about that later. Let's just do it the old way for now. Okay. He just like grabs you by the collar and then like wraps his other arm around you, and you're grappled. Oh, he would have actually had advantage as well.
I try to kiss him.
He's like, oh, oh.
What is that smell?
Okay. What is everyone else doing? Ivanna and Notch, I think you're the only ones at this point who may continue to be hostile. What are your plans?
I'm kicking my legs out and squirming, but yeah, I don't think I've got. we're surrounded.
I got one more turn in me if I can.
Yep.
Let's get one kill.
Okay, this thug then is going to also try to essentially grapple you, Ivanna, but he's just going to try to like push you down to the ground. So give me an athletics check or a acrobatics check to try to resist.
And I'm
If you do
disadvantaged.
try to resist. When you grapple, I don't think so, actually.
I think so. When you're like grappled, you kind of like for moving, or is it just you can't move?
I know restrained would give you.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me see.
Well,
I think. I mean, you would fail anyway. Speed becomes 0. Yeah, it's just a flat roll.
okay.
But yeah, you still fail anyway. So you're pushed to the ground, and this guy kind of gets on top of you and like puts his knee on your back.
Ow.
Okay, Ned, I'm assuming continues to hide in the fire.
Yes, Ned is doing his best to remain incognito.
All right, Notch.
All right, Notch is going to run up here. That's 4, that's 5. He's going to hold his weapons out to Haktar, and he's going to yell out, "No one gets paid if the boss is dead," and see what they're going to do.
Okay, so you kind of like put your
Actually, can I grapple him and like actually hold a dagger to his throat?
Yep. You can do that.
What do I do for a grapple?
Give me an athletics check for now. I'll look up between sessions how to do it for 5.5e.
Oh, come on.
I thought.
Oh.
Okay. He will. I gotta get some kind of mod or something that gives me a better. Okay, he unless his strength. Let me just. Oh, what is this? What do we got?
Grapple and
He's got
shove.
+1. He's got +1.
Grapple and shove are both saving throws now. Strength and proficiency bonus.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a save, and the save is the target strength and proficiency bonus.
The DC is the strength and proficiency bonus, and it's a strength or dexterity save.
Okay. He, in this case, manages to evade your grasp, Notch.
All right, I'll still hold the weapons to him and call out to the others.
Okay. He is going to dash away.
I will take an opportunity attack. Oh, is he disengaging?
No, take an op attack.
Yeah, I'm going to try non-lethal. Just see if I can knock him out.
All right. Ooh, that hits. Give me the damage.
Not much.
Okay.
9.
You don't quite knock him out. But you just like hit him in the back of the head as he runs. He's just like, oh! And he is going to.
I only get the 1 for an opportunity attack, don't I?
I think so.
If my dagger does it in the same action, do I get it?
You can only make 1 attack, I think, for an op attack. I don't think you can. Like, it's the same action, but it's the same. Maybe have
another attack.
I think so.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I could be wrong, but I would maybe have a read.
I was reading it today, trying to figure it out. It's a little bit confusing.
Yeah. He runs out of the room. Vakos, anything?
No.
Do you want to try to do anything?
Weapons down at this point. No, if he's got away, then it's weapons down.
I'll finish my ale.
Okay.
Am I unconscious or dying, by the way?
Unconscious.
Doesn't matter.
Unconscious.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no, they were non-lethal.
Well, I definitely lethaled somebody, so.
All right.
You killed a guy.
I nearly had him.
That would have been cool. He has like 11 hit points, so you only had to
I
do
figured
2.
if he didn't have weapons, I figured he couldn't have had much.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought if I could get a grapple on him and hold a weapon, it would have got spicy.
All right. I wish that had happened. It would have been different. Okay. You're all captured. You're bound.
Adrian,
Yep.
did they find Ned? Or do we? Because I can see through Ned's
good.
eyes. I think it's up to 100 feet. I can communicate with him telepathically. So I wouldn't, even if I'm escorted away, I wouldn't know if they found him.
Yeah, I don't think they found him.
Oh, okay, amazing.
Okay. What does he do?
So Ned is going to... Now, Ned can walk. He's much slower, but he can walk. And if that means he'll be more stealthy, he's going to walk invisibly, and he's going to stay maybe like 80 feet, which I'm not sure what that is in meters, but behind... if he can follow us, he will, I suppose. So you let me know if there's like some entryway that he can't get into. But he's going to try essentially just kind of tail us.
Okay, well, all of these warriors that work for Haktar, they bind you, they pick you up, they drag Glarosh into this wagon. Basically, they tie you all up and they transport you to the Androma estate where you were earlier on in the day, where you met Brakior. And they take you down to the basement and throw you in a cell down there. So Ned can follow some way behind. Once you're like outside, you can probably fly and sort of see them from some distance from above. You see them drive this wagon to the estate, and you can sort of land on the gate. Well, not you, but Ned sort of lands on the gate and on the top of this big stone wall that encircles the estate, and you can watch them go inside.
Yep.
You don't see where they go, but what do you try to do? Does Ned try to do anything else?
Assuming that I'm within 100 feet and we can still communicate, I'll just tell him to stand by. See what happens first. Yeah.
Okay. You are thrown in this cell and you're left there overnight. All of your gear is taken from you. You're put in a couple of different cells, and your gear is kind of maybe put in one of like a cell that's like across from you. It's just all kind of like thrown into this cell that's across from you. And you can all take a long rest because you are left in this cell for the night. So for those of you who don't know how to do a long rest, if you double click on your character sheet and go to the details tab, which is the cog on the right, so it's the main tab, up the top near where it says your level on the right, there is a knife and fork, or fork and knife, and a tent. If you click the fork and the tent, that will allow you to finish a long rest. Usually in my campaign, I don't heal hit points for a long rest, and I've forgotten what the actual 5e rules are for a long rest. You get like some of your hit points back, don't you? Or have they changed it? Does anyone know?
I didn't actually read what it just said because I didn't need any.
Yeah. Don't you get to roll like hit points?
Yeah, it looked like hit dice, yeah.
You can roll
Long
hit
rest.
dice on your short rest. A long rest, I thought it was kind of like equal to your something, half of your...
Long rest, you regain all lost hit points and all spent hit point dice.
Nice. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Everyone can have all their hit points back and all their everything.
Exhaustion reduced, regain all HP unless it's interrupted. Yada yada.
Nah.
To long rest, you must have at least 1 hit point.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're just unconscious.
Okay, so I got another question about the familiar. Does the long rest apply to Ned as well?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
He can sleep outside or something. Just flies home. Yeah, where does he sleep?
He probably is there like a nice chimney, top of a chimney, perhaps in the estate?
Yeah, I think that would definitely be in a couple of chimneys in the estate.
Yeah, so
at least
just kind of atop a chimney where he's getting some smoke and some heat. That's quite comfortable for Ned.
Okay. Are we restrained?
No, but you're behind bars.
Are we in the same cell?
There's 2 to a cell, so there's a couple of cells.
Who's with who?
Let me see. Glarosh is with Teddy. Ivanna is with Vakos. Not you're on your own.
Oh, the bad boy.
Are we being guarded?
Are you what?
Being guarded. Is there guards around?
Yeah, I think there's a guard standing by the door. There's these stairs going up from the basement, and there's a guard standing there.
Okay.
Just this one, probably maybe even one of these veterans. He's just got these long braided moustaches and long braided beard, white hair.
Can I give a roll to see if I manage to keep my piece of copper wire?
I'm going to say they search you pretty thoroughly.
All right.
They take everything from you.
Well, that was still one of the better funerals I've been to.
Definitely around about. Sorry,
Yep.
I was gonna say definitely around about midnight. Varkos is just poking Ivanna just to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a guard in the room with us. Did you say?
Yep.
I lived.
But you can call out to him. He just doesn't even react, doesn't respond. He's obviously.
I just want to know if I can
Haktar.
talk to one of the other party without him knowing. How far away is he?
He's pretty close. It's like a hall with these cells on each side. Maybe there's. I mean, it's not like this guy runs a prison in his basement, actually. So, yeah, actually, it really wouldn't be like there's a prison in the basement. Maybe actually.
Can I talk to Teddy?
I'll say that you are with. You can be in the same cell as Teddy, and maybe the weapons are not in a cell; they're just kind of next to this guard, kind of all of your gear is sort of piled up at the end of this hall.
Okay, I shuffle over next to Teddy, and I say, "Teddy, your brother. Do you think he'd be able to get in and get me my thieves' tools, and I can get us out of here?"
Well, before you say that, because if you guys have had a long rest, well, I guess you would have this conversation while you're having a long rest. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Carry on.
Okay. So Teddy goes. I think Ned can get into the building. No worries. Ned loves a chimney. In terms of getting their thieves' tools, I think he can get it, no worries, because whatever he touches also can become invisible. So that's fantastic. I think the hurdle is getting through any doors, right? If there's shut doors, Adrian, is the door? I assume the door the guard is guarding, where enclosed, right? It's a shut door.
There's a door at the top of the stairs.
I think that's going to be our biggest hurdle, but I think Ned can get us most of the way there.
If he can follow a guard or somebody bringing a meal or anything like that through the door. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to. Oh, so I'll ask. So are we locked in on that plan? Is that what we want to try? It's worth a shot.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm gonna communicate with Ned. I say, all right, Ned, you're up, mate. And I'm gonna ask him to sneak into the estate just slowly and carefully work his way down the chimney, whilst maintaining invisibility, of course. And where would we don't know where the thieves' tools are, do we?
All the gear's just in front of themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, it would probably just be with all the stuff.
I'll give you a description of it.
I'll just interrupt.
Pouch.
I'll just interrupt though, because you've slept the whole night because you've all taken your long rest. So we have to say that you would be doing this in the morning. And the thing is, in the morning, like if you had done this like beforehand, but we can't really kind of retcon it because you've already taken your long rests. So if we get into some sort of altercation, I don't know, like what all your hit points were and everything. So I think maybe we have to just say, maybe we just have to say that like several of you were like really quite wounded. Glarosh was just like passed out. You didn't have, the will or the strength to kind of deal with this in the evening, and you kind of crashed out and sort of nursed your wounds and whatnot. You've woken up the next day, and Ned is able to kind of float down the chimney and sneak into the house. This is like a 2-story house. Maybe this chimney leads down to the lower level though. He's able to kind of float into this house, and he is actually going to see, he's invisible, we'll say he's not detected, but he sees Haktar himself walking towards the door at the top of the stairs. And he can watch Haktar actually unlock this door and begin walking down the stairs towards the cell. Towards the two cells.
Can he just follow him in behind him with the open door?
I don't think he's going to leave the door open, but if he wants to try to get in, give me a stealth check.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if he can sneak in. He's quite small, so we'll see if he can sneak past him.
Okay.
All right, come on, Ned. Let's see how stealth. Ooh, not bad.
I don't think so. Not with because what are the chances that Haktar would just leave the door open? I mean, he knows that you're locked in a cell. Okay, I'm gonna say there's a 30% chance that he doesn't lock the door behind him, and then an 18 is sufficient for Ned to sneak in.
Would a guard not open it for him if he's like this bigwig? So this guard opens it, stands there with the door open for Haktar to come through, and then the invisible imp follows him through.
I think Haktar opens the door with the key, and unfortunately you didn't get the 30%, so you're not able to, as Ned kind of like tries to get into the door, Haktar does close the door and lock it.
Oh, okay. All right. So Ned is just kind of loitering on the wrong side of the door, I suppose. And Ned, I will stay there for now.
Okay. Sorry, I know it seems like I was trying to block you, but it didn't seem realistic to me that he would just kind of leave it open.
That's okay.
Okay. Haktar is going to come down the stairs and approach the cells. And he's kind of steps over towards you all and says, My. Look what you've got yourselves into. Who are you all? What are you doing in good Mead? Are you working for my brother? Did you assist in the murder of my father and the attempted assassination of myself, Haktar? Speak!
We were hired by your grandmother to escort her here for the funeral. She then asked us to provide protection to your brother as a favor to her.
We also offer geotechnical consulting.
Geotech? What? I've never heard of such a thing.
I pick up Teddy and shake him.
Oh no, my ears again.
He says, you were hired by Andelka, my grandmother. Well,
that's correct.
You didn't do a very good job. She is also missing.
She released us from her service to guard your brother during the funeral.
So you were working for my brother?
Under direction of your grandmother, yes.
Why? Why would she do that?
I have no idea.
Well, perhaps, I mean, maybe she doesn't think her brother's responsible. I don't know.
Well, she is a kindly old woman. She left many years ago after my grandfather died, and went and pursued her silly faith, whatever it is, Lathander and all that. I don't know.
How very dare you?
Smite his ass.
Beg your pardon, I didn't mean to offend your god. But listen, Brakior lied to you all. Jorgen, the dead man, in Dougan's Hole, he was not loyal to me. He was loyal to my brother.
Brakior told us very little.
Yes.
We pressed him for information. He said he just needed security. That was all the deal was. And he didn't even pay very well.
No, indeed. He's always sneaking about. And he's always been a money-grubbing, greedy bastard.
I mean, I will say 20 gold is only a couple days boozing at best.
20 gold? How much booze do you drink? Kind of looks you up and down. Never mind, don't answer that.
So you said Jorgen. You're claiming Jorgen was employed by your brother, not yourself.
Yes. I didn't even know
Can you
Jorgen.
tell us? Can you tell us any more about him? Because we're getting very mixed messages regarding this Jorgen fellow.
Jorgen was hired by my brother. My brother travels a great deal in his role as a merchant and a caravaneer. I simply...
You didn't know him personally at all?
I've met the man a couple of times. But he was Brakior's man. I don't even leave the area. How am I going to meet somebody from Fireshare or wherever the hell he was from?
So,
Can I insight that?
Yeah, I was going to say, does this guy seem genuine?
Or the fact that he knew he was from Fireshare.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Can I do one as well?
Yeah, you can roll as well. I'm actually just trying to think how Haktar would know that Brakior told you that Jorgen worked for him. Maybe, let's just say that when Brakior was kind of getting up from his seat and running out, he kind of shouted something to that effect. Okay. 17. Yeah, you don't get any sense that Haktar is hiding anything.
Okay.
So, Hector, what's Jorgen's role in all this? You know he's no longer with us.
Yes. My warriors killed him in Dougan's Hole. And then we caught his accomplice, who tried to assassinate me. Although, we don't know what happened to him.
Where is Brakior now?
He slipped away. Like the slithering weasel he is. I can't really blame him. Our father always held him accountable for the death of our mother. Andelka is his grandmother, if we were saying mother before. I think I might have said mother. Yes, it's not exactly Brakior's fault, but it turned him into the hateful and manipulative person that he is. It's clear to me that he wanted the inheritance, our father's inheritance, all for himself.
And that would be diamonds, correct?
Yes, we do have a great stash of diamonds. And
I didn't know the Mead business was that good. I mean, no offense, but the Mead you make is pretty shit.
what?
Hey, look, just personal taste, man. But I mean, Jesus, like, add some Add some berries to it or something.
You don't know what you're talking about, clearly. Good old bad mead is famous. All down the Sword Coast.
Oh, famously shit. But okay, yes. Yes, it's famous.
Well, it wasn't only the mead that made our family money. My father was also, established the merchanting company, the AWMC. And that was at least in part responsible, aside from the excellent mead that I produce. I don't know what you're talking about. Clearly have no taste.
Difference of opinion, sure.
Haktar, it seems to us that we've been grossly misled here. Why don't you let us out and we can have a more civilized discussion somewhere of your choosing? So can I try to persuade him perhaps to let us out?
No, don't give me a persuasion check. He will say, well, it's funny you ask, because I've had to think about this over the course of the evening. A lot of you, I can tell that you're from outside of town and that you don't have anything to do with this. You've gotten caught up in something that you know nothing about. You mentioned that my brother was paying you 20 gold pieces to defend him. I would like to propose something to you all. What say I do let you out? Perhaps you would work for me. I will present to you a counteroffer of sorts. I'll put up 40 gold pieces each to double my brother's measly 20 gold pieces. If you will find my brother and bring him back to face justice.
50.
That sounds good to me, I guess.
50 gold pieces, you say?
Oh, yes, 50. What do you think?
I don't think you're really in a place to bargain about this, but give me a persuasion check.
Wait. Oh no, I should have put some more charisma on this guy. Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a 20.
Yes.
Listen, if you are able to bring back my treacherous, murderous bastard of a brother, so he can face his rightful justice, then we can talk about a bonus, perhaps. But 40 gold pieces, surely, he kind of like looks at all of you. Surely that would be almost a fortune for the likes of you.
It'll do.
He kind of
Sitting here in this cell.
I need another job, only.
he looks at
I feel
Teddy.
like we're getting manipulated.
Whereabouts would Brakior be?
Brakior lives in Bryn Shander. He's only some distance from here. About 3 hours by dog sled. I can lend you the dog sleds.
Did you say fire shear?
No.
No, I'm sorry. It's my ears. They've been. People keep pulling them. Keep pulling my ears. I'm hearing things.
Yes. What did you say you do again?
Oh, well, I was.
Don't you never shut up.
Some kind of geological,
Some kind of magic no one understands.
We could have a conversation in our own time. But yeah, it's about slope stability. It's slope stability analysis. It's borehole logging. It's seismic surveying. It's all these.
Shake him, shake. Shake him.
Haktar's jaw just begins kind of like, like lowering as he's just kind of listening to you, like slack-jawed, like clearly has like no understanding of what you're saying.
What's the standard depth of a borehole?
He's like, I am actually quite an educated man, and I still have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that's why I'm very employable, Haktar. I have a specialized skill set.
Just don't get him started.
Notch comes right up to the bars, hands on the bars, and kind of puts his face right up there and says to Haktar, what assurances can you give us, or what proof can you provide that your brother is actually a murderer or is guilty of these crimes? We have been misled by one brother already.
Well, other than the fact that my brother hated our father, I did have a witness, but it seems, well, I must admit, I killed the assassin in my rage. I was overcome by rage because of my father's death, and I killed him. But, we took him into the house, and, since, his body has disappeared without a trace. It's very strange. Nobody knows anything about it. It's almost as if his corpse simply stood up from the table and walked out of the house on its own. It's the only explanation. Ridiculous, I know. But he could have attested, and did attest, to my brother's guilt. But listen, I of course will not give you this 40 gold pieces each until you bring Brakior back to face justice. But you should know he will face a proper trial in Goodmead, once we have elected a new town speaker who can preside over it. I simply wish to hear the truth from his own lips, and for him to face the justice that he deserves. If you can bring him back here, then we can all find out together why he would do this, if it really was just because of the blackness and the greed in his heart. And you will get your gold.
Aren't you not also concerned for your grandmother, who's also disappeared of recent?
I have not seen her for many years, and I'm sure she can take care of herself. But, yes, I hope she is all right. Perhaps she is there with him. You say that she was on his side, it seems.
True.
I don't know, she has always done what she wanted. She was never around when I was young. She does not interest me so much, unless she has something to do with this. Perhaps if you are able to find that out, then of course I would like to speak with her as well. But she was not even in Goodmead at the time, so I don't know, that doesn't add up.
Were you well acquainted with the previous town speaker, Hendrik Railsparrow?
Yes, I knew him quite well.
Can you tell me what happened to him, if that's right?
He died in a hunting accident.
Oh, okay, checks out.
I was not there on the occasion. Apparently, it was a wild boar.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That is okay. He was not a close friend.
Ooh.
I knew him mostly through our business dealings. We bring a lot of wealth into Goodmead. And so, but it was really my father who interacted with him the most.
Your father is also passed, correct?
Yes, my father is Mikael. It was his funeral.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Look, yeah, his mind is really on other things.
That's probably because you keep shaking him.
Hope would be the booze I gave him.
Did Mikael leave a will?
Perhaps. Why do you ask?
Well, you forgive me, friend, but our interaction with your family thus far doesn't inspire much trust. I'd like to know if there's some other motive for us bringing your brother in.
Yes, no, fair enough. The will is to split the fortune. Well, alright. Only 10% was to go to Brakior, the rest to me.
Can I insight check that?
Yes.
15.
He doesn't seem like he's lying. He doesn't seem in general like he has anything to hide. He's just kind of standing there with his thumbs in his belt. Seems just very confident. As I said, my father very much did not like Brakior.
We will agree to locate your brother, do some investigation of our own, bring him back here. Nothing more.
That is all I ask.
Deal. And he spits on his hand and sticks it through the cage.
Haktar does the same. Excellent. Well, as I said, Brakior, I am sure, has returned to Bryn Shander, where his people are. So you will need to look for them there. I can provide you a map of the city. He actually is like, maybe he's already carrying this map, perhaps in one of his hands. He passes it to you through the bars.
We also have your Goliath.
What?
Just joking. Can we take the Goliath?
Oh, may we also have your Goliath? No, I need him. Listen, I saw how well you could handle yourselves last night. And also, you killed one of my men. And nearly killed another one of them. And like I said, though, I realize these are difficult times and you did not know what you were doing. But no, you cannot have my... you cannot have Jimmy...
possibly killed that.
Jimmy makes the mead.
But here, you will see on that map that I have marked the AWMC headquarters in Bryn Shander and the company warehouse. That is from where most of the shipments go out and return. And several other notable locations. If you go to Bryn Shander, you should be able to find evidence of him there and find where he is hiding.
Very well.
Very good then.
Well,
Until you return. Until you return, and he'll walk out and sort of nods at this guard, and after he leaves the room, he opens the door again. Ned, do you want to see if you can get in again? It probably doesn't matter at this point, I just want to see.
Well, yeah, Ned's kind of just been like hyper-fixated on this task that he's been given. Doesn't quite realize yet that the dynamic has changed. So yeah, Ned is definitely gonna try and... Do you want to sneak or...
Give me a dex. Give me a dex check.
Alright. There we go.
12. I think Haktar, like, as he like slams the door shut, he like hits Ned again. Like Ned kind of goes like stumbling back.
Oh no! You almost got it, Ned. You almost there, Ned. Good job. Good job.
But he doesn't lock the door this time. He just kind of like heads upstairs, and a couple of other guards come to the door, and they walk down, and this guard that has been guarding you, he also has a key, and he unlocks the cell doors, and they allow you to collect your gear, and then they kind of show you up the stairs and lead you out of the house.
Is the one that I knocked out amongst them?
Yes.
I just smile at him as they're letting us out.
Actually, he was like severely injured. I don't think he is actually.
Okay, all right.
He was on like 1 hit point. There was like, he had like massive blood loss and like he's like bandaged up somewhere.
Guy a knowing nod.
He just kind of like looks confused.
He's just like, yes.
What is his name again? Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Just give him a nod. Jimmy.
He's like, what?
Yeah, so we sort of trained with Goliaths back in the tribe I was raised in. Yes.
It's like, get out of here.
All right, and we can grab all our gear.
Yeah, you grab all your gear and you leave the estate, and let's leave it there for the session.
Nice. That was good.
Yeah, very good.
Man, I'm so annoyed I didn't get that guy. I could have had him.
Why did I leave him alive?
I was thinking in my head, like, okay, how do I deliver the quest if you take this guy? If you take Haktar down, like,
I pieced it all together, and I'm like, we need to surrender here. But I'm like, I can get this guy. Then what's he gonna do?
we would have made it work. Like, I hesitated, and I was like, nah, I'm sure we could work something out. So, like, I would have
just
let you do
that
it.
same conversation right then and there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. If you, I mean, I don't know what would have happened if you'd killed him.
Well, I wasn't gonna try and kill him.
Yeah, but if you knocked him out, then yeah, I suppose you would have the same conversation, but just on your terms. Well, the room was still like full of a bunch of thugs and gladiatorial types, but
As soon as Vakos sat down, I was like, oh, what would Janko say?
Oh, he's raiding off the table, lying elbow at the Goliath.
No, that was good.
It's funny because when he first hit Vakos, like, I've only got 10 hit points, he done 7, and then he had another attack. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going down.
Yeah, low level's rough.
there are a lot of people who advise you not to do a combat that you can't win. It just completely takes agency away from the players, and then to throw you in prison and take all of your gear away. Also, like, very discouraged. But
we could have gotten out of there.
This was a very,
Ned
like,
was this close. Ned would have kept trying.
Yeah,
He would have had to get fed.
I think I could. If that guy didn't hit me with all those attacks, I think I could have done it. I reckon.
Yeah, there's only like 8 around you.
There's only like 8 people, and like they all have 2 or 3 attacks.
I would have just kept throwing thugs at you every round. It was the first module I wrote, and I knew of that advice even then, but I still thought like, nah, I find this interesting because it sort of makes people like contend.
It's character development.
Like, yeah. You have to like contend with the ego of your own character. Like, would my character surrender or would they fight to the death? I've run that combat a few times back in the day. It was a few years ago, and like, I don't think anyone has ever just surrendered up front. Like, everyone always just goes like, fuck this.
Really?
Keeps fighting.
20 gold? Wait.
It's always the same. There's like a few
Not
surrenders.
just a professional, alright?
Yeah. Sweet. That was fun.
All right.
Thanks for playing,
Thank you, guys.
everyone.
It was nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, likewise. I'll run
man.
the next session next Wednesday if everyone's cool with that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
All right, sweet.
That's good.
See you guys then. Enjoy your weekend.
See you then.
Yeah, well, we're still level 1.
Still level 1, yeah.
Alright.
Everyone-
Just checking.